Hey everyone, this is Louis7. I had to unmute my mic there, I just saw, and I am streaming the Lord of the Rings Online, going to be doing some skirmishes and hopefully some questing. So I actually joined in the middle of a skirmish with my kinship. I'm a little bit later than I usually am, but I fortunately was able to join them, so I need to connect to them on Discord still. And for people that don't know how that works, I will have the kin on mute as far as the stream goes. And then I probably should have done all this before I actually started up the stream. But I will have the kin on mute and you all should be able to hear the in-game audio. So I will go ahead and connect to them there. And I think we are good to go. Hello. So starting off, it looks like with Trouble in Tuckborough, the big idea with these skirmishes here is we are going to be doing Ill Omens. I think we have it set to level 95 and don't quite have a full raid, but we're still doing tier 3. So I am just joining in a little bit of a hectic fight. We are doing tier 3 and down to level 95, but we're also down a few people. I think is one of the reasons we set it to a little bit lower level than, well, we'd normally run it at level 100, but we heard you could get the same rewards as a level 100 run running it at level 95 rather. And I'm having lag right at the start here. It looks like the stream is doing okay at least. And it looks like I am already dead. Wow, I don't know if that was an induction, like an interruptible thing. There was a lot of stuff going on the ground right at the moment. I wasn't quite ready to go into this hectic of a fight at the very start of this stream, basically. I will try to do a little bit better job of paying attention. And hello, Andrew McKinnon, you said this is your least favorite skirmish. I actually like this skirmish, but one reason I could think of it as a least favorite, or a part I don't like about it, is that I used to run it so much because it was one of the first skirmishes you unlocked. Before they added Storm on Methodris, I think it was the only offensive level 21. So there weren't many options there. I think, ooh no, maybe I am the only Warden. I thought we had another Warden, but somebody had to drop the group, I know, very early on. I have a question. Do you all normally skip the counterattacks in this one? Yeah, it seems like every time I've run this with another group, that is what they do. So I didn't know if you did that too. And hello, Bacalonius. You asked if a skirmish is a dungeon, and it is an instance type thing. It's not really a dungeon, but it's kind of like that. There are... I really don't know how to describe the skirmish system, but there are lieutenants which are almost like bosses. Maybe they could be considered mini bosses, but they're pretty common, especially when we're running like a raid tier 3 skirmish like we are now. So they're not quite like bosses, but they have unique mechanics like bosses typically would in a dungeon. And then at the end there is usually like an actual boss fight that would be like a dungeon boss fight, rather. And also in them you have skirmish soldiers, which come to help you. They are mostly helpful at low level. They aren't going to be too much help for us at level 100, maybe a little bit still, but I know at high level, at like level 130 on the regular servers, they are not all that good. So in short, it's kind of like a dungeon. Hello, Wisco. Crazed Hate Monger. I am not familiar with this lieutenant. There's a lot of different lieutenants with doing it in like a raid or fellowship versus solo, which is still what I'm used to. I know we've done a lot of these skirmish raids. Oh. I think there is a Priest of Vengeance, which I did not see. Priest of Vengeance is very dangerous because they can give a reflect buff. And with all the AoE I did and damage over time I just did, that can be very dangerous for me. So it looks like he's giving the reflect buff to the Hate Monger, I think that was his name, but yeah, that totally killed me. As soon as he got that reflect buff, I just went down. But yes, Bach, there are still dungeons in the game. Skirmishes are their own thing, and they were added quite a long time ago. Skirmishes aren't really kept up that well. Oh, it looks like the Starlit Crystal's 95 version, I guess. So yeah, they're their own thing that was... Ooh, we still have this counterattack that I need to avoid. Looks like somebody just looking at the minimap, they're about to run into it. Oh no, I feel like I should go with that bear. I don't know if he was going to try to run through everything. Is it safe to bring some friends? Okay. Okay, so what I'm trying to do here is save this bear a little bit. I don't know if he sees me. Oh wow, I could not survive that at all. I was going to try to drag those enemies and help the bear there actually get through that, but I just went down. I was super squishy. I wanted to hit them with AoEs and then just keep drag them to the larger group. Let's see, and it looks like they're still aggro to me. I guess all my dots were going, so I still need to drag them. So Bach, you are level 22 and haven't tried group content yet. You weren't sure what it was. So you can do the intro to skirmishes at level 20. You can actually do this skirmish at level 20. So yeah, it's something, I believe you will get like a letter in the mail that will direct you to the skirmish camp, the skirmish captain, and you can get set up, and it looks like they decided to root me. I don't know if I can survive this once again if they get a good hit on me. But unfortunately, I think, wow, that also does not look that safe, but I'm going to hit these things. I feel like there is no good choice here besides just AoE everything and somehow hope I don't get aggro and stuff, and somehow hope I don't die. Which, yeah, that I did not last long there once I got aggro and everything, but hopefully I did enough damage that things start slowly dying at least. I really feel like the stream started just a little bit odd with the chaotic mess actually in-game. I was kind of hoping, even though I started it late, I was hoping to get a little bit of questing done before we did skirmishes, but they were right between a run. Okay, so this wolf is in combat with us as targeting an herbalist, and I still have goblins attacking me. Looks like we're getting more people in our group though. That is some good news. I'm just going to be running around kiting everything. I still have so much aggro on things, and I keep hitting them, so I'm going to keep getting more aggro. Oh, looks like the tank. I know since I'm running away, it's hard for the tanks to get aggro. I think we even have 2 tanking options right now. Oh wait, this is the way skirmishes go on my Warden though. I always just go all out on the damage and we'll get aggro like that, especially with all this AoE you can do as a yellow line Warden and at skirmishes with all these enemies. It's a very dangerous strategy, but it is the most fun to me. So that is what I do. In this character, I still don't have my imbued allies actually properly set up. I have my spear ready to imbue besides leveling it up to the max. And I know I actually should give a little bit of background on what's going on with the content. That is something I want to do. Okay, let them deal with all that, and then there is a wolf stuck in this little tent here. I think I have to actually go in here. There we go, we got it killed somehow at least. But with some background on the content that's going on with my channel lately, I do want to give the slight heads up, I guess, that videos will probably be a little bit slower, or at least have been. It's probably been obvious that I've been streaming instead of making videos. So normally I would probably not stream like 2 days in a row, and I'm also planning on streaming tomorrow. At least that's the current plan. Because I have been more in the mood to just play LOTRO and play games this week. And when I do that, that just means there's less time for me to actually work on videos and that type of content you see on my channel, and have seen a little bit more frequently lately. And I think I need to... No, I already actually have that set. I was having a little bit of lag and I thought it was just needed to increase the CPU priority. Did we have an event over here? Oh, there it is. Big Fright. That is a good name for a bear in the Shire, Big Fright. I should probably use my debuffs. I somehow managed to take aggro. I think I need to drag this enemy. First I will slow him so I can actually run. Assuming it actually looks like he was somehow slowable. A lot of boss type enemies like that are not actually slowable. We have somebody, I think a couple people back here. And then the tank. Both tanks actually were not with us in that entire fight. Oh, we have to capture this flag, and I think we have to defeat a couple more enemies for that. But Trouble in Tuckborough, this is actually a skirmish I do like. I have just run it so much, so that's why I kind of agreed with the thought of it maybe being a little bit of a least favorite. But I like the skirmish. It has a nice, kind of interesting flow to it, I guess. You have this open area right here, and when running solo, it's pretty easy, I think, to just grab up all the mobs here, and a lot of, I guess, AoE potential for solo. Wow, we all really gathered up on that kind of fence-type border thing. So this is where we also get to counterattacks, and yeah, the Ill Omens wrapper, I am not going good on that. I think I've done like 2 days worth of that. I've done 1 day worth of it, rather. Oh, it looks like we have the Harbinger, which is not good. This is also a double counterattack. Yeah. This is exactly one of those times I did not expect to last long. And hello, Mr. Dark Moto. I am on the Anor server, at the moment. I do also play on Arkenstone though. We have all these tokens. I know they give you a little bit of a benefit. Should have actually looked into just randomly placing one at least there. But oh well, we can at least keep dying and keep running back. And yeah, Jubal, I used to run Trouble in Tuckborough all the time as well. I used to really like running skirmishes in LOTRO, and Trouble in Tuckborough was one I could do on all my like low level 20-ish alts, because back in the day I was also slow to level, so I had a lot of characters around that level. And I have aggro on so many things. I have the Harbinger attacking me. I don't know why I'm still hitting things. I just can't stop hitting things. That is basically the way that works. I probably should go a little bit slower at least. Like not actually retreating as soon as I die. It would be nice if this gate actually opened up. I think it's just totally blocked by structures though, so it doesn't open up, and we didn't actually even get to claiming that courtyard or anything where it would open up. Also, the environment here, I think it starts to become daytime. It starts at like early morning, dark. Somebody is following me, I think. The hunter. I don't know if they actually are following me, but that's just what it looked like right there. But that little bit of slowness for me getting back hopefully gave time for things to calm down and get things killed and stuff. And mainly me lose aggro. Okay, well it looks like a few mobs reset. Okay, so there is still one skeletal white we need to kill. And once we kill the ads, he will drop his shield and I think take more damage. Okay, so I think if I can not drag my skill, I had seized the moment, so going to go in melee and spam my melee attacks. Wow, usually when I go through that sequence of stuff in the melee stance, especially after switching right from the range stance, I usually have some sort of lag where basically something is skipped over, but I went through all those attacks, and that was just a little bit of a mispress from me right there. But now I want to gain some power, even though it's probably not the optimal ability to use right now. I do need power to use all my other abilities. Okay, so once things got settled with the Harbinger and we didn't have the counterattack going at the same time, it went okay. I'm really hoping to get maybe my spear at least imbued. I'd actually rather get my javelin imbued first just because I spend so much time in the range stance and actually using javelin skills, but that does not look likely based on my availability of javelins and the legacies I currently have on my javelin. And it's also just a slow process with the imbuement anyway. I could spend, I don't remember how long it took me on my Runekeeper, but I could spend probably like an hour just doing LIs and actually get them set up, maybe with what I have right now. Probably would need more javelins though. And I think I can get javelins fairly easily though. And Max Byron, you are wondering, oh, I have no idea if that's the last name, but Max, you were wondering how I got all the bag space, and I think you can buy some in the LOTRO store, but also being a VIP, you get some extra bag space. So, yeah, I think Oop, what happened? Why did I attack that thing? Oh, sorry. So the skirmish soldier, that is why I attacked the stuff, the skirmish soldier. So I thought we ran in. I didn't see everybody actually teleported out, but there was a skirmish soldier that ran into the enemies. So I think we're headed out now. Somebody else was stuck in there. But yeah, as far as the bag space goes, I think I was able to buy some from the LOTRO store, but also from VIP. Having that, I think. Okay, so Virtue XP, I probably want to go ahead and use that. I used to save those up for when they'd have bonus Virtue weekends, and I probably should still do that, but I'm really running out of storage space on a lot of my characters. So trying to conserve that a little bit as well.
The Dower Hands have forged an alliance with a blue
Siege of Gondor. This is probably the most boring skirmish in the game to me, unfortunately. I don't know that will be the case doing it as a tier 3 Skraid. So Skraid being skirmish raid for anybody unfamiliar with that, but yeah, I don't know if that will be the case with this, but it is a defensive skirmish and a very slow and long defensive skirmish. So yeah, we'll see actually how it is. It could be exciting just because of that, but it'll probably take a long time, basically. I think it's one of the longest skirmishes. And by the way, if y'all are wondering why we ported out of that last skirmish, we got the Harbinger, which is the main reason we are here, especially when we ran that at level 95. We didn't get any of the exciting level 100 rewards. I have no idea what's going on with my skills. I think with the hill, some of them probably got out of line of sight. That's what was going on. I think we have a blue captain, which the heal is going to be nice from that, but a little bit less boosting damage. Hello, Jeremy Fernandez. Is it just me, or were they taking 100 damage from one of my things? Oh, it's probably the Sage. I have a Sage Skirmish Soldier. Contrary to the name Herbo, it is actually a Sage, so his name should be Sajo. But it is to trick all of my members in the group to think he's actually an herbalist. And I only named it that as sort of a joke within the kinship. So we're back onto the north, and this is basically the skirmish. You run to wherever the enemies are on march and just run through that. Sometimes we will get lieutenants. I used to think there used to be a pattern with the lieutenants, at least in the solo version. I think even some of the group versions where it would be every other assault. Did this warrior... That was really weird. It looked like he just skipped up here. Oh, better get in the captain healing banner. Here is a lieutenant. This is enraged Stone Crusher. I don't remember what he does, but he looks mad and he looks like he wants to crush stuff. Maybe he's mad because he doesn't have stones to crush, so he has to crush us instead. Which hopefully won't actually happen. Good old Warden stuff. I know I did the Rift stream yesterday. I was almost thinking about playing that or playing a game other than LOTRO today, but the Warden's just such a contrast between other games, and especially Rift, just the gameplay between the two, even though they're similar and they're the same genre and same style of combat and all that. The more of the little details with the games are so much different. Yeah, I But I wouldn't doubt that they nerfed it just for level 100, because I thought Skraids used to be even more popular than they are. They don't like us getting a lot of crystals. I don't know that that's actually the case for the people in the stream, that they actually nerfed it. I don't know for sure, that is just speculation. But due to some trends with legendary items and the grind with that, I really wouldn't doubt that they actually nerfed skirmish raids, because I did think they used to be more popular, especially for crystals. This is the fun part with the Yellow Line Warden. It's pretty common in skirmishes, but doing those 3 AoEs that I used in the range stance, then going into melee and can use all these AoEs, and then I can switch back to the range stance. And in the meantime, I have a whole bunch of damage over time going on. It's pretty fun to me, and if I compare the AoE, I know Champion's another big AoE class. I think this style of AoE, uh-oh, he might have a reflect. Oh no, he just punishes enemies around him. That's kind of funny. So here's the crazed hate monger again, who is for some reason targeting me. And hello, Jonathan Amos. So I'm going to be honest with y'all in the stream. I was very tired just a few moments ago. Well, it's already like half an hour into the stream, but before the stream I was actually very tired, so I didn't know how it would be going, but I thought maybe playing the game would actually kind of wake me up, so to speak. And I am glad to say that it actually has. I thought that would be the case. But I don't know, I guess today's just been a tiring day. Even though I haven't done much, and maybe it is because I haven't done much. But I decided to stream anyway, and I'm glad I did. Because this is fun. It took a little bit to warm up with the rough start, I guess, in Trouble in Tuckborough, but I'm actually enjoying my time here in Siege of Gondor. It's not too bad on a group. So this is actually probably my least favorite skirmish, but I have to say it's a whole lot better in a group. It's kind of like epic battles in that way. Those are very boring solo to me. But in a group, epic battles are significantly better, and that's kind of the same with a skirmish. I also like doing these peaks as a Warden on defensive skirmishes, just because they're a little bit safer and the enemies have to go to us anyway. I can run up and then run back. Although only some of them. Looks like whoever got hit by my different dots, a little bit inconsistent between them. Usually doing them at the start like that is actually good because they're all grouped up, so then all of them can get hit by my dots, but that did not seem to happen this time. So Jeremy, you said you love watching LOTRO. I think, and mainly because level 130 is cool. Well, we are only level 100. I know I've been playing on this server a lot lately. That's why I mentioned tomorrow I do want to go back, stream LOTRO, and actually go back to Elder Slate on Louisden. That is the plan right now, at least. Barring anything happening, basically, that is my plan. But for you, your common levels are 20 to 30, so it's kind of sad with that. So one thing, I think I've talked about that a little bit with this stream, is a lot back in the old day when I'd run like these skirmishes particularly, that's what a lot of my characters were, so in a way I miss those days, but also not really, they were fun. But I did a lot of skirmishes back then on different characters. So all that damage, it might seem good, getting all those numbers up at once on all those wolves, but actually I bursted the... I did the Shatter Javelins? Forgetting the name, which is which. I think Barb Javelin is the bleed, and then Shatter Javelins is the AoE. But basically, I bursted all those bleeds which means I didn't get the damage over time component. So basically lost damage in that fight as much as it mattered. Wow, 3 lieutenants with this fight. They're really, And there's one more. There's the Hulking Pounder. There's the Tempest of Flame here. The Hulking Pounder, I think, is a melee one, but there were 3 lieutenants that joined the battle, I thought. I somehow feel safer back here. Okay, so here I'm actually going to... Well, I was going to spam resolution, but... Because I do want to stay ranged for this fight, just because the Hulking Pounder can be dangerous. I should actually probably get back over here. Maybe a little bit safer to be with a group. I like that position for a little bit, but not long term there. Okay, so we have enemies on march to the west. The enemies do not stop, at least. Well, the enemies do stop. They randomly decide to pause at the end of the assaults, but that is it. Oh no, I missed that. This is one of those prime examples of when lag causes me to miss something, so whenever I switch to melee, I will very quickly try to hit spear and shield and then go fist spear, and then shield to do the bleed unerring strike. And it does just like that. I press shift 1 and then shift 3, but it missed the shift 1. I think I'm just switching from shift 1 to shift 3 too quick whenever that happens. So if y'all see me basically use Fierce Resolve in melee like that, it is often because the shift 1 gets ignored. Either due to lag or me actually hitting shift 3 too fast. Either way, it's the same result. Oh, so Jeremy, you have to go. Yeah, I know I started the stream a little bit late. You said it's a school night. So I hope the travels in Gondor are safe as well. Thank you for the wishes there, and I do hope to have fun. So far, having fun. I do not really see that changing. I wonder if my character... I like this outfit, but I feel like this outfit's a little bit better for here. Random wardrobe change. My character got too cold. Hello, Vulgar TG. It is going pretty well here with these skirmishes. Besides the first skirmish we ran, that went okay at best, I would say. We got the Harbinger done, which for the Ill Omens Skirmish event, we got that done ultimately, but it was a little bit tougher than it probably should have been. This is a lot of dots I have going on. I did not realize there were this many enemies here. Let's see how my allies are doing. My javelin is almost ready to level up. My spear is also almost ready to level up. I'll have to be sure after the skirmish to try and maybe level these. I also very much so want to equip a javelin. Go ahead and get that working. Okay, so it looks like the second assault is done, then we have the third assault, and then we have the fourth assault, I think, and then we have the final assault after that. The final assault just being the boss. But if I remember, that's how Siege of Gondor works. I used to run a little bit more, even though it was a boring one, but still a little bit of variety compared to just running same skirmish repeated. Don't think everybody's going to get hit by the Exaltation of Battle. I really like when you have actually still have your weapon out and use like one of these skills that when you don't have a target like Resolution did there's a neat animation. Should try to get some screenshots of my character when that happens. And it looks like we have a will breaker. Oh, a couple will breakers. And they are not getting hit by my dots. That is probably because I'm in melee stance. They do not get hit by dots in melee stance with those skills. The Frigid Squall, apparently we have a Frigid Squall. That one does an AoE burst when it gets low health. What skill? Okay, so I want to stay far away, so what I am going to do is basically spam my ranged gambits and just try to get a bunch of Shattered Javelin pops. And this one does wander away, the Frigid Squall, so I also have to keep that in mind, just try to run away from him. So as long as I can stay far away from it and still do enough damage to help get it down, that is my goal right now. I don't think, fortunately, we don't really have to care too much about the other ones. And I think the next dot I need to put on is Exaltation of Battle, but I'm not sure. That is correct. And we got through, that was his thing. It killed, I think, a couple people and almost killed the tank, but not quite. The tank, fortunately, has enough health to survive that. We got through all of that. I just used a power potion. I was going to go on a little power restoring trip there, but that never happened. And now we get enemies right back to the south. Okay, so got my dots, going to go into melee. So we have the enemies on march to the west. We do have this encounter enemy, but it doesn't really matter too much when we kill him. We mainly need to get the west gate enemies, and we have 2 lieutenants. So I think maybe this is the 3rd assault, so maybe this is when the lieutenants actually have a pattern as every other assault, or every other march of the enemies, every other wave, basically. So I did a bunch of things there. I actually somehow don't remember all the dots I put on while I was doing all that talking. The Emissary of War, he is absorbing things. Even though I'm targeting him, that is what he is doing. Oh, maybe you need to put him in this gold circle that they just put him in. There's a little shield going around this. It's a little bit odd. But I will restart with all my dots. Yes, Vulgar, we do have a Guardian tanking. The Captain, since I know they're more famous tanks, I guess, at the moment. Okay, somebody already got, Annie the Hunter already got Thrastar there. That is that Dour Hand's name. But yeah, the Captain we have is playing the blue line, a sort of an off-healer type thing, I think, at the moment. I have no idea what skills I'm using. Yeah, the Emissary of War, I think we just need to drag him into the yellow circle. I'm not too familiar with him, but that does look to be the case. This does almost give us a little bit of a break. He doesn't seem to be doing too much to us, and... Oh. I didn't know enemies could go on march while we were still fighting some. I was just thinking that we were actually having a little bit of a break there. Well, at least I get a lot of AoE on the new mobs. Oh, Javelin of Deadly Force, it is fun That is Jimmy, the Guardian there. He used to play a Warden a lot, Arkenstone. Yeah, it's at the end of the yellow line. I am in yellow, then put the rest of my points into red. Which, speaking of, I have 2 points to spend. Oh, here's a Priest of Vengeance. This is not going to go good for me. It is going to be a miracle if I survive. And yeah, that he gives a reflect to an ad and basically kills me. I probably shouldn't have revived. Yeah, I just got killed again. But I get in a lot of damage and it can reflect damage to me, but I am already dead, so it doesn't really do much to me. And hello, Nathan Philip Connors. But yeah, the reflect, I've been incapacitated by misadventure. That is what it decided to call at that time. I assume it's because of a reflect, probably even just had all these dots going. Did it 20,000 reflect right there. I am retreating. I was waiting for my dots to go off, basically. Yeah, I accidentally retreated right away the first time and died right as soon as I came up again. But yeah, I should be good now. Those mobs are all dead and that's what was going on. Probably could have res sooner. We do have somebody outside of the ken, it looks like. But the minstrel is in DPS, so we have the captain healing instead of the minstrel, which is a bit odd, but it actually might work out. The captain would give some really nice DPS buffs, though. It might be a little bit more optimal, technically. There is a good chance I die here as well. Oh, we have a Shepherd of Filth. That guy is really annoying because his worm's slow. I wonder, it'd probably be good if I could get moved into the captain group. I am curious, would it be possible to move me to the captain group so I get some of those heals? Yes, actually. Okay, so we have our Harbinger. So I think we're going to try to get the Harbinger, even though we do have the final assault going, but I don't know. So, are we going to get him? Well, that looks like yes. Okay, so we are trying, the main goal of the skirmish again is to get the Harbinger. It would be nice to get everything. I think we're going straight to the top. That was weird. I switched to melee stance and then my Gambit Masteries went on cooldown and these guys are absorbing all the damage I am doing. That is not good. I don't know why they were doing that. It looks like they are actually taking damage again though. I have a lot of AoEs going on them though, so that is the good news. A lot of AoE damage over time, a lot of dots going. And I'm about to have more, except they're absorbing damage again, which is not good. Oh, we have, I think, Defender of the Vile. Is that what's making them absorb? And could we drag them away from Matthew, maybe? It's very hard for me to do my push to talk button for anybody curious to talk to the kin while I am doing stuff on the Warden. My push to talk button is Z. Oh, I'm just dragging everything around. I think we're about to lose the skirmish before we get the Harbinger. Unfortunately, it was just Matthew. Just went down and we didn't have somebody to heal, even though the minstrel could have been healing. I think they were in DPS the whole time. Oh, for some reason it let me stay. I didn't even press like the retreat button or anything. There we go, now it actually kicked me out. That's what it's supposed to do, it's supposed to kick you out when that happens, but it's a little bit of delay there. Well, that was unfortunate that we didn't get it. We went through all that time. I thought it was actually a fun run for Siege of Gondor. Okay. That is an interesting position for a bear. And yeah, all the enemies, they always like me. I feel like they're just trying to recruit me to the forces of Angmar. I could really use some wardens. Okay, so I want to go to the forge, maybe? No, I don't want to imbue yet. I will try to imbue something today. That is the goal. To imbue something. Which would probably be my spear, unfortunately, because I really do want the javelin imbued first. Okay, let me put a good heritage on the purple javelin. See where that takes it. I should also probably get the mobile thing, the subscriber town services item. And that way I am probably going to have a pretty big repair bill. I don't still have the subscriber buffs. I had that, I think, on this character probably earlier. Okay, so it sounds like we're taking a little bit of a break. I think that we're going to try Siege of Gondor again, it sounds like. Maybe we can get more people. It's a little bit of a low turnout, both for our kin. We have a couple people on that I don't think are running, and then even with the server, usually we pretty easily get a full raid, it seems like. But anyway, this break does give me time to work on the LI and maybe get towards the area for questing, which I was thinking about doing Dol Amroth Questing, which I have in the title. But I also thought maybe I could do the quest to unlock the skirmishes, so the Moria book quest on this character. I'm leaning towards Dol Amroth because I think that would be a little bit better to do. Maybe I'll go ahead and head there even. Actually, I want to stay... I think I want to stay at the skirmish camp. I have to see what all they have there again. Doesn't really matter too much. I can travel easily as a warden. I have my muster in Dol Amroth even. So leaving there and going back would not be a problem. But I might as well stay here until I actually go to Dol Amroth to do quests. But for now, we get to work on the wonderful imbuement process. Okay, relic combination, that is what I want, and I want to meld. Looks like I can unidentified items, javelin. Okay, I can meld a level 95 javelin. I forget if this will give me scrolls for level 100, legacy replacement scroll things. So I need more shards, which means I need to refine. I have a ton of relics on this character. Well, that's even 2,304 on its own. Okay, we're going to do stack and just refine all these. I guess you can't double click or right click. But anyway, this will give me a ton of shards, so I can at least make one javelin there and test it out. I don't really need these relics, so that is actually a good thing. Deconstruct all these. And then I want to test melding a level 95 javelin. Then I want to go to the Forge Master, identify that, and then I want to work on the current javelin I have going. And I think I have all the UI panels that I actually need to have up. Oh wait, I do need 2 more. Okay, so the spear is ready to imbue, as far as I know. Yeah, the spear is ready to imbue. Okay, the javelin is the one I want to work on right now. And hello, Salmon Fire. You come in at an exciting time of the imbuement process. as I look at all these UI panels and hopefully make some progress towards actually getting my javelin now ready to imbue. The spear is ready to imbue, but it just needs to level up a little bit more. The purple javelin I have needs a little bit more XP, so we'll work on that. I don't mean to randomly like have a fist up here, but that's just, I guess, where I rest my hand while I do this. Shards, what am I doing? I totally distracted myself from what I'm doing. Okay, so I need to level up this javelin, which is not going too well. It's taking a lot of these. 29, so that is better. I need to get it at least to 30, but preferably 31. Javelin of deadly force damage, probably out of those. Okay, so it got to level 35. Now I am ready to deconstruct that, and hopefully it has Fist Gambit buff duration, which I actually do need that, so that is a good legacy. I want to get that one. So now we'll go over here. We will unlock this javelin. The sword, I can level up that up to 60. Actually, I should go ahead and deconstruct that since it's a level 89, just get it out of the way. So Fist Gambit buff duration, whatever this one gives, I want to destroy, because I don't need it. So Same Empire, I don't think it actually matters about the starlets before or after imbuement. I can do that before, but I think it ultimately has no effect using it before or after. You can correct me if I'm wrong on that. That would be good to know, but that is my understanding at least. Okay, but this level 95 one, this is what I really want to test. I actually don't even know if I need more legacies, but I still want to test this just to satisfy my curiosity. I'm not getting any good legacies though on it. Well, they really make the level 20s, I think, take the longest for allies to level up. They really make it hard to get level 30. I don't know hard, but just take a while basically. There we go, Javelin of deadly force damage. I don't even know if I want that one, but I have it now. So Same Empire, it does matter to do that before imbuement. That is good to know. I will, unless you can actually tell me how that matters. I think you can technically get more stats for like two-handed weapons, like the Guardian would have. I don't know if he has it equipped. He did last time for me to check and show you all. He does not have that equipped right now. The Warden might. I wonder if he has a two-handed weapon. Nope, he is using a one-handed weapon, which is good for Warnings, especially healing or tanking style Warnings. Actually, if he's healing, I think it's technically better to just use two regular one-handed weapons, but maybe not at this level. I'm not entirely sure on that, actually. But anyway, yeah, I was just going to show the stats basically that I at least knew that it affected. Let's see. Still checking what legacies I need on the Javelin. I should probably start looking towards opening the LOTRO wiki list. This is a good one. Shield Gambit line healing. So if this works, if this does give me something I can use on a level 100 weapon, that will actually be a good legacy to put on it. And it does look to be the case that you can use it on a level 100 weapon with a level 95 LI. Okay, so for the Starlit Crystal, it sounds like the DPS legacy starts at level 7. Okay, if you don't do the Starlit Crystals before, the DPS legacy will start at level 1, but if you do after, it'll start at level 7. You know, I could actually test that. I can test using 3 Starlit Crystals, say on my spear, versus 0 Starlit Crystals on my Javelin to test that. I think that'll actually be something interesting to test and see if it does work that way. It'll also be good because I do plan to actually make a guide on imbued allies. I was looking, it might look like I'm looking at the camera, but I have a temperature thermostat for my apartment right behind my monitor, and it is 62 degrees in here, but I'm actually a little bit warm, which is odd for 62 degrees, but that's what was going on basically. Spear shield gambit power cost. Yeah, don't care about that. Even though this character does have power issues, I don't really care about that. And then Fist Gambit critical rating. This one, it's basically useless, especially at higher level. But it would have a tiny bit of use right now. And heal bonus for conviction, that is 10%. That is very tiny. These are like two very almost meaningless things, still trying to min-max as much as I can. But the Warden legacies, the ones that aren't really good, are just, yeah, basically not good. So I think we're doing an actual 6-man skirmish this time. So a little bit calmer, maybe? Well, it looks like they picked right. Enemies on march. The bear picked right, at least. His name is Glorison Hammerhand. Oops then. So the Guardian, as I was pulling them, I think I already hit them first before he said that, but he said he likes to wait for them to actually get up. And it's really noticeable though. And going down, it was just one fight we've done so far, but going down to 6-man version of this from the raid version. Oh, a lot of lag there. Missed a few gambits. I don't think I have a slow. I could have a slow. Actually, I do have a slow, so maybe it wasn't a lag. That is one kind of annoying thing I would actually say. Yeah, Samurai Fire, the item, yeah, you can put the item to an imbue screen. That's actually, you probably weren't here when I did this. I was setting up for my spear. I was actually going through a bunch of random tips for the LI and imbuement process there. That was actually one I fortunately already knew, but that is a good tip about that. With the Warden, I'm mostly familiar with what they changed to, though the LOTRO wiki just has a good list, so I can check if there's anything in particular that I can immediately see that I'm missing that I would want. Which I still actually want to do, but I will also check that. I can't do that in combat with this, but yeah, I can go to the imbue legendary item. And then if I have, this is the spear. So this one's the javelin, it shows what they turn into. I think the only one that actually changes is Fist Gambit skill damage. So right now I can already immediately see the main one I want to replace is target resist rating with resolution. That's basically useless. So I'll have to look at the LOTRO wiki to see if there's anything particularly appealing to replace that with, or if I want something like just vitality is probably, if there's no other good legacy. A little bit of vitality, tiny bit of vitality rather, would be even more useful than the target resist rating with resolution. This is extremely easy compared to the 12-man version we were doing. We had 7 people doing the 12-man version, but this is definitely significantly easier. I just noticed things are dying a lot quicker. Of course, they have a lot less morale and all that. Oh, and Brandon Joyce, you like the tip about reorganizing the LIs and your, where are they on march to? The north? I don't know why I read the south. Whoever followed me accidentally read that as to the south. There's a reason we always follow Annie or Jimmy. So last time in the stream on this character, So Jimmy, he let us off a cliff last time. But even though he let us off a cliff, he actually led us where we needed to go as a shortcut, an unintended shortcut, but it actually worked out following him off a cliff and dying. And hello, Shagrath. And as far as the tip about reorganizing the LIs, if anybody didn't know, you can drag an LI to a particular slot. So like if I wanted my first stage spear in this slot instead, I can do that. But I like having my first stage spear, say here, and you can just drag it there to have it wherever you want. So if I want this blue spear there instead of over here, I could do that. If I want this one, it can actually slot it for me, which I might as well slot two things. That would actually be helpful. And these mobs die so quick, I don't really get a chance to move through my full rotation there with the L line, switch to melee and do all those AoEs as well. Okay, so that assault is done. I can look at the LIs a little bit. Let me see if there's anything I already need to reforge. Nope. So what do I want to do? I think I already used this buff, but just in case. First, I want to open my Hobbit gift. And I actually got a yellow one. Got 100% mark acquisition. Seems like a sign just because we're in the middle of a skirmish. I know skirmishes aren't even the best thing for marks and medallions anymore, but a little bit. I got marks and the mark acquisition. That's kind of neat. Usually the Hobbit gifts are mainly boring. Even this one wasn't the most exciting, but the mark acquisition can be good if you're on a good skirmish or good mark find. There we go. Took me a while to actually get the gambits there set. Got him down. He did last a little bit longer than the others. And hello, Naz. I am doing well, and you said thank you for the stream. Well, thank you for joining the stream. I hope you are enjoying it, or will enjoy it if you're just getting here. And hello. It is taking me way too long to actually read that name. Data Pepet? Oh, I messed up. I meant to use the other game, but I'm actually in melee stance anyway, so it's better that I use Brink of Victory than melee version of Resounding Challenge. Okay, so enemies moving to the west, and I was supposed to look at my LI a little bit. Let me look at my shared storage, see if I have any Starlight Crystals in here. I know, okay, I have small Starlight Crystals. I think my Runekeeper has at least 1 or 2 Starlight Crystals. This mob's a little bit scary. I don't know if I should be running up to him in melee, but just because we're on the little fellowship version, it all seems a lot easier. Oh, it's still to the south. Okay, so LIs, there is, as far as I know, nothing else I can do until anything needs reforging. At least nothing of too much importance right now. I have the Javelin. I want to probably meld a Scroll of Vitality, that thing. Okay, so we have Brother of Destruction. There are actually 3 brothers. I think in the solo or duo version, it's usually just 2 brothers that you get when you do that. I don't even know if they actually come in the solo version, but I thought in smaller versions there were usually only 2 brothers. But I think they share damage they take or share morale, or when you kill one of them, they all die, which means I should probably target the one everybody else is targeting, even though all my skills are AoEs anyway, basically. So Jacob Rivera, you said you downloaded Rift and thought you would give it another try. So you said it's amazing how little there is for class build guides on YouTube. Yeah, that actually does surprise me, because it seems like a game that is very much built towards building. Geared towards building, maybe would be a better choice of words. Just because of all the different options and things like that, I would have expected there to be a lot more resources. But maybe it's like LOTRO, there are not many resources either in LOTRO for that type of stuff. But yeah, I'm thinking I probably will stick to that game a little bit, test it out a little bit more. I really like the idea of playing a cleric in that. That is one thing I don't really get much of anything that's similar to that in LOTRO. If I played WoW a little bit more, which I even thought about doing a stream of that today, I might have mentioned that, but I'm glad I decided to continue with LOTRO. I thought doing two non-LOTRO games in a row might be a little bit odd for my channel. Sigurmar. Okay, got 1 bleed on him. It would have been probably more optimal to switch to ranged and do that, but this is okay. I think we have enough people there. The enemies, we actually have a break, so we don't even have more coming right now. So I can go back. Okay, now we have enemies on march to the west, and I am going to head to the west and focus on those enemies. I do have some dots going on Sigurmar. We have enemies on march to the north. This really is a lot calmer than the raid version though. We're already on the 3rd assault, which means we'll be getting to the Harbinger soon, but yeah, getting to the 3rd assault so far has been a lot calmer overall, I think. So Jacob, you said you went for Rogue because of all the stuff you did find. Said stay away from Cleric because apparently the solo DPS is not great. That is interesting to know. I did basically no research on the classes. I just thought Cleric was interesting because it was kind of a magical melee class, which there isn't much of that in LOTRO. Sort of a melee version of the Runekeeper in a way, basically being a shaman, like an enhancement shaman from WoW, is what I was thinking with that. So they are on march to the south, and hello Hunzu. And I think that is a little bee, maybe? See, that penalizes enemy melee offense, so might as well use it. I don't know how much it penalizes it, but that is what it is supposed to do. Minus 5% melee damage. Wow, very useful there. I don't even think anybody took damage anyway. At least it didn't look like it. So clerics are usually run as tanks, it sounds like. In this Dour Hand, he decided to not join the fight. There are actually a couple that, well, at least one other that went with him, so a couple Dour Hands overall. I got all my dots going on them, so they should be dying. Now we have Battlehorn from the west, and we have enemies on march from the west. It's actually nice when the enemies line up like that, the encounters and the regular attacks. Jostein. That seems like a little bit of a weird name, but maybe it's a Dwarvish name, a Dourhandish name. Yeah, that is one thing I like about the game, Jacob, is all the million different combinations you can do with the classes and builds there. I think it's pretty interesting. So maybe there is a good DPS build. And hopefully it would be with Shaman. As long as I could get enough like leveling and solo experience out of it, it would be good enough for me, I think. I think from what I read, it was kind of like LOTRO for endgame, I guess the two newest raids, which as far as I know are like 3 or 4 years old at this point. Those ones usually require like the best classes, basically, kind of like LOTRO. Tier 3 especially in LOTRO, difficulty goes way up, I think. And you basically have to play one of the meta classes or specs at that point for your group to be able to progress. And it might not be true for like tier 3, especially if you're really well geared and have really good players. But just in general, it's a lot more optimal. And basically that's the way the meta works. So it sounds similar with Rift, basically, in short. And I think I used Range Resounding Challenge, but did not put the dot on him, so I'll go ahead and do that. Let's see, I don't know why I'm using my melee gambits right now. They're good for single target damage, but could have just done AoE there. We still have Aggie Gatebreaker. It's hiding in the back there. So we're going to be getting the Harbinger in a minute. This one is Moldrot the Pale. It's a little crawler, but he is a Harbinger of the Dead. Or Harbinger. I think it's Harbinger. I don't know why I said Harbinger. It looks like Glor is up there though. Okay, good. I honestly, the Guardian asked if I could go up there, and I was like, I honestly don't want to. I want to fight this Harbinger. But we did have the bear warning to just go up there anyway. So it sounds like I'm safe down here. Plus I get to bring all this DPS and all that AoE DPS. I don't think they would want to miss out on that. Now we have a little frog, or a giant frog, joining us. And yeah, he actually brings a slowing effect, which I think is totally making me mess up everything. Even though I did a good burst damage there, I'm still totally messed up with everything because of the slow attack speed. If we get the frog, he is doing a lot of slowing, it might go faster. I don't know if it's a frog or a toad. I honestly don't know too much the difference between them. But I think a lot of people are focusing, it seems like, on the Ill Omen, the Harbinger, which usually is good, but this guy is slowing me so much I think it would go a lot faster getting him first. Okay, going to switch to ranged again. I've been in melee way too long. Okay, got all of my thoughts, I think. It looks like we had to go up here. It sounded like Matthew was needing help. I was a little bit slow on interrupting him. At first I was going to just use the ranged boot. Oh, why do we have to watch the big hits? Oh, I see. So apparently this guy reflects. I did not know that. Let's see, 25% chance to reflect. Okay, plus 100%. Plus 100%? incoming. So he reflects an effect of a debuff? I wonder, did I actually reflect on myself, or did he just increase my incoming damage? So it looks like his reflect gives you a debuff instead of just damages you. It gives a debuff for way increased incoming damage. So the... oh, congrats. The debuff here is just plus 100% incoming damage, which is a lot. That's probably why all my characters always feel squishy. I just thought he did a ton of damage to Echo of Death, but maybe he already does a lot of damage, and then on top of with his debuff, it's like a whole lot of damage. I know he can kill the NPCs in skirmishes like this. Oh, I was very slow on that interrupt. He should have never got whatever he was casting off. So yeah, this is also my strategy with fights like these. I want to go ahead and get them hit with my dots, because that is a strong part of Warden, getting all those dots going. Might as well go ahead and do that. And I thought I saw, maybe it's just the Bearer of Blight. I think he has some sort of AoE attack. It looked like he had a reflect effect on him, which would not have been a good for me, but does not appear to be the case. Looks like I can reforge some stuff. At least that axe, so I'll go ahead and do that after we get out of combat, which I think we have a dour hand stuck. And a goblin. Okay, so hopefully they target me and can actually go where they're supposed to. Oh, and got a fellowship maneuver on him, which actually wasn't a good thing because it means we all basically have to go down there. Oh, we're already on the final boss. That was actually a pretty quick final wave. Okay, so I am going to quickly forge my allies before we get any more item XP. Which was just those two. I thought I might have also had the first stagers. They should be coming up soon. Actually, the javelin is like 800 XP away. And I think we can kill the dragon without actually pulling the evil dwarf over there. So we just fight this one. I totally forgot what gambit to use there. I've gotten so used to AoE, I guess, throughout this entire stream that I forgot I used a ranged mighty throw, which I really don't know the name. What can I think of the name of that gambit? Warden's Triumph, ranged Warden's Triumph is what it would be. But anyway, now we have this evil dwarf we need to get. What is his name? Ingathor Blackhand? There I am once again. I used Exaltation of Battle instead of what I forget the name of again. Warden's Triumph. Uh-oh. I don't know what killed me there. I saw my morale went way down. It could have just been some sort of something he does, but anyway, I died there, and that's pretty usual in skirmishes. It is basically what I do in skirmishes, is die. And that is exactly what I did. He said he will die in unknown, and I did die in unknown. I feel like his text he says is very accurate. You will die in unknown. Oh, we don't have the... I was looking for another chest to loot, but we don't have the raid version of this, where sometimes we have another chest. Well, there's always the other chest, but sometimes it is bugged where we can't loot it, and it's kind of annoying. It's inconsistent. Seems like sometimes we've been able to run it on like our first skirmish of the day, and we can do that, and sometimes we haven't been, and then sometimes we can actually randomly loot it. I think I've heard it's not supposed to be until level 105 that you can do that. I don't know what they're running over there for. And yes, same with fire, when enemies deflect, they do deflect my bleeds. So whenever I have dots on enemies, even if I don't hit them with anything new, all the dots on them will do damage to me. Thanks to the subscriber town services I reforged during the skirmish. Getting close to Imbuement. It's kind of exciting. See, I didn't even pay attention to what I actually ranked up there. I probably should have paid a little bit of attention since it was the Javelin. Ultimately, it won't matter once I get all my scrolls of empowerment, of course. But let's see, as far as the Javelin goes, I am actually very close to imbuing it, I think. It's mainly the target resist rating resolution. So I will go to the LOTRO Wiki Warden Legacies. And then I want to look for the Javelin and see if there's anything I'm missing, basically. So let me bring this up where I can see it a little bit better. So I can get 7 total legacies on this. I'll need to use a Crystal of Remembrance to unlock the 7th, but I want to do that after Imbuement. So Fist Gambit skill damage, I have that. That's the important one. Fist Gambit critical rating, that doesn't matter too much, but I do have it. Heal bonus for Conviction, I don't want that. ICPR, that is not much in combat power regen, but I actually would rather that than, say, target resist rating or even just plain old... What are we doing? We're already... Oh, Stand at Amon Soul. This one I could see actually still being relatively boring as a group. This is a very good one to AFK farm if you're a lore master, or any class actually can do decently. Up to a certain level. At a certain point, Candaith will just get basically defeated. And yeah, the main good Javelin legacies will be the healing ones. So Shield Gambit Line Healing, that is a good one. Defiant Challenge Damage Return, that's decent. Javelin of Deadly Force damage, that's not too much. Javelin of Deadly Force does hardly any damage. But I think I'll get Target Resist Rating, replace that with... Oh, we're going... Yeah, usually when I do this solo, I don't even bother building the fires. You get a lot of damage buff overall for having the fires attack faster and all that sort of stuff, but we have Oppressive Darkness. So if you don't have the fires all lit, I think it counteracts basically the Oppressive Darkness. I don't think it's possible to get... If you could actually stand on top of this fire, that would be the ideal position. I gotta just keep trying. Let's see if he... It's probably going to block me off. Probably too many people have tried that. And they made the height for the fire, the little camp here, just too tall to jump onto. There are a lot of things like this, though, you can jump on in LOTRO. Yeah, I've always wondered how that works, if it, like, takes whatever, some sort of bonus damage you get and sets that to minus 100%, and you keep some baseline damage. Because we do have a debuff, even if... Well, actually, I will say the middle fire is always lit, and you still have a 20% damage boost, I think, from that. So I don't know if that is what that is, or there's still something extra. Does anyone know if it's possible to jump on this fire? It's mainly so I don't have to, like, move around and have it block my attacks basically. Anyway, I don't think it will be possible. I can keep trying to jump on this fire. Well, not too much. Actually, there is pretty much something constantly going on in this skirmish. It seems like other people are doing a good job at the fires, though. But during down times, I feel like I can keep trying, but I really don't think, maybe without movement speed buffs, I don't think I'm going to get anywhere with it. Had a little bit of a choppiness right here. Don't really see anything there though. There's also a little bit right here of choppiness. It could be general jumping choppiness, but could actually be something that lets me jump on the fire. Anyway, I usually don't make myself dizzy, but it's almost making me a little bit dizzy just trying to jump on that, so hope it's not bothering anybody actually watching too much with that. Okay, so allies, let me see if I am ready to already reforge something. I actually am, like, leader of Gondor. Doesn't matter what I pick, that is right. Actually, this is my spear, okay. Unfortunately, is my spear. If it was my javelin, it could potentially have a legacy that I wanted. And I don't even remember the name of the legacy. Let me actually go back. Oh, in combat power regen. I can't believe I actually want that legacy, but considering my power issues, it would slightly help with that, and slightly helping with that is better than like 150 vitality, which wouldn't even give me like 1k morale. I'm a raging marauder right now. Oh, my skirmish soldier is dead? Thank you for that tip there. Unfortunately, my skirmish soldier is not that useful anyway. But it is still good to have it out. We have the first assault defeated. There are 4 assaults, I think, in the skirmish, so it might take a little bit of a while. There's a random ball of fire to the southeast, and I actually used the correct gambit for once. Oh no. I heard the word reflect. Yeah, on any damage. This one's 100% chance to reflect, 5% fire damage, but then it is 700 for it initially, and then 700 for every 3 seconds. So I wonder if I should stay dead here or sacrifice myself again, and I vote sacrifice myself again. This one might not kill me immediately. I don't think his reflect. Okay, that's actually is killing me. But there we go, I got some of my dots in. That's the main thing I wanted to do there, just get a little bit of damage. Or preferably a lot of damage before I died, and that was a decent amount, it seems like. With all those damage numbers in the thousands, I feel like I probably did at least 1,000 damage. The fumerals and frozen thralls are terrible at reflect and AoE damage. That is good to know. The fumerals, I don't remember them from this skirmish. I don't think I've ever run this skirmish above, like, solo. I don't even know if I run this skirmish duo. I probably have. I should take that back. I think I've run every skirmish at least duo, but I think the duo version's basically the same as the solo version for most skirmishes as far as I remember. But anyway, I haven't run any of this skirmish above that, I don't think, ever. So I don't know if there are like specifically fumerals and frozen thralls here. Primordial Wrath. I don't really know what this thing does, but it always looks scary, and it looks like something I should just stay far away from. Yeah, it's just saying I don't know what it does, but it looks scary, so I will stay far away. Actually, I will go in melee range. I don't know, I feel like there's not much I really can do if I stay ranged that far, and there we go. Oh, that's like the Frozen Squall. That could have been bad if Candaith. I don't know if he can get caught in that, but I guess I should have stayed far away. Ranged offense. This is actually very useful for me. Let's see what it actually does. 25% range damage. That's actually a lot. Spend all my time of the buff looking at what it does. I actually do think I'm going to get a use out of it, and I just missed. I tried to get an interrupt on him. Oops, I don't know how I dropped the target with that mob, but I did. Yeah, I've actually never had an issue with the Primordial Wrath before. I guess we've always killed it before it's done its AoE or something like that, or I've at least always been out of range. So that was a little bit of a shock. I'm familiar with the, I think it's Frozen Squall is the name of it, the frost version of that, kind of basically, that does something similar when it's about to die. It does a big AoE that I have to stay far away from so I survive. Let's see, I don't even know what that does, but I never use it, so might as well use it. I'm very glad to have people in the Fellowship that actually work on lighting the campfires. I saw one just went out, but besides right now, they seem to be doing a good job on that overall. I wonder if the captain banner's over here, but it's the blue banner, so I'm not too interested in standing in that if I don't need the heal. Oops. I just randomly pulled an enemy. I guess that's the lieutenant. I thought it might have been an encounter. But that is not the case. It is okay because we aren't really... I'm kind of still used to the danger of Siege of Gondor when we were 7-manning the Skraid version. Sounds like the Rage of Morgoth can do an AoE. Yeah, this skirmish, Zero Cola, I would have to agree on solo. A lot of the defensive skirmishes, I don't like them in solo. They're a little bit slow paced for me. And all that, some of them, like this one, can be good to AFK during, especially as a lore master with a Bog Guardian pet and maybe an archer skirmish soldier. At low levels, Candaith can survive on his own and self-heal pretty sufficiently. There are some lieutenants that can kill him with that, even especially towards higher levels, but yeah, that is the main use of the skirmish that I am familiar with, is using it to AFK level on a lore master. Oh, this one we have to let the lights go out for the encounter, I think, since the owner only approaches in darkness. Let's see if I need to forge anything. I thought the spear was a lot closer. I guess it just levels up slowly, which is okay. I know I keep just randomly checking that because I've been on the whole imbuing my allies. That is my goal, actually. I had a goal to imbue a single ally, but I will actually try to imbue both of those, and we will test out that Starlight Crystal thing that somebody mentioned. It was Salmon Fire, that's who it was. So it looks like all the campfires went out, and now we have Gwathringor, which is a very weird name. I don't know how they decided to name some of the things, some of these skirmish encounters. They have some very weird names, and I think this one is a good example of that, Gwathringor. It somehow fits him though. I don't even know how, but it seems like it fits him. I know we let the fires go out for the encounter there, but otherwise we had people doing a good job on lighting those. Maybe I should actually contribute. I'll go on a little lighting run. I can actually do a lot if I use Force March as a Warden. I can do a good job on these, I think. Except I think I missed one. I don't know, did I actually get 4 of those? If I timed it a little bit better, I might have been able to get all 5 in one run. I don't do the skirmish enough, especially on a Warden, to actually know. I used to always do it basically 2 sets of running around to get those. And I am lagging with getting the Warcry builder. Nope. It's nice that I get, especially starting doing a lot of the group versions of skirmishes, getting a lot of these random Slayer deeds done. It would be nice if they gave LOTRO points and Virtue XP, even for the skirmishes. Be a little bit of encouragement for people to run them maybe a little bit more, but it's still just something nice to get done. You get, I don't know, yeah, for the deed I didn't get bounties, but at least get 50 marks. This one looks like an armor buff, minus 15% incoming melee damage. I don't know why I randomly thought of this, but if I were able to do a longer stream today than I intend to do, I actually would have been interested in checking out the update 29 beta, the Wildwood round 2 for that, but just logging in and exploring it a little bit, but I don't think we'll get around to that, especially because I do want to do some Dol Amroth questing after I do all the imbued LI stuff. Which, speaking of imbued LI stuff, I should probably look towards using this heritage. I know I will have to log into my Runekeeper at one point, and he should have more stuff. Maybe my shared storage doesn't look like I have any that type of stuff. Even my regular storage on my Warden might have that. We can check that next break. Surety of Death actually hit something. That is not what I wanted to use, but there was something in melee range. We are on the 3rd assault. Oh, we got done with the 3rd assault. I was just thinking the skirmish, we have been here in a while. I know it's a slow one. So we got the Harbinger, and it looks like we're going to go ahead and pull it. I thought maybe we would wait till after the Cargill, but we haven't had much issue with anything. I really don't know the Cargill if he does anything on the Fellowship version to worry about. Let's see, Gambit I need to use on that thing. I don't even know what I'm targeting, but I know I need to use that Gambit. And then I can AoE all the little light balls for... This guy needs to be interrupt, and I don't think we interrupted him. That is okay. Yeah, I think the main concern right now is Candaith could go down, basically. I think as a group we could definitely do this if we didn't need to protect Candaith, but it is a little bit of a concern right now. Okay, so I got 2 bleeds and then 1 more Earth Range Resounding Challenge. Then the Harbinger should be right here. So Zero Cola, you have been off work today, and you were working on your low-level Guardian, and then you decided to log off as you said you've had enough LOTRO, but then you decided to watch my stream, so I'm glad you decided to watch the stream. Gives you a little bit of a LOTRO fill now that you're off of LOTRO, maybe. Okay, this guy has none of the bleeds on him. I don't know if he still has some of his spirits. We have a lot of ads going on. Maybe I should focus on that. Get at least my dots going on them and all these little guys. Okay, now I can focus my attention. I feel like back on the Harbinger. And he has one dot. He has the 5 gambit dot, or the 3 gambit dot. I don't even remember anymore. The 4 gambit dot, actually, that is what I meant. I am out of power. Oh, he has the 5 gambit dot. I don't know, I got myself all confused there, so I'm going to reset my dots basically. Wow, it really lit up here. That was a lot of lag to get the final Gambit Builder mastery for Mighty Blow there. In Salmon Fire, you said the pets will keep the Harbinger from entering? Oh, is it? I wonder if it's, you mean because like the Harbinger can be ranged or attacking them, or I actually really have no idea what's going on with that. It's nice these guys are a little bit more of a challenge than the regular skirmish stuff. There's a lot of issues I think with Ill Omens, as fun as it is having the Harbingers and just having something extra to the skirmishes. I feel like there is a lot that I can complain about with the system of Ill Omens. Mark of the Longbeards. Wow. I think that is from Erebor if I remember correctly. Okay, so we got the loot from the Cargill. Do we still have more, or did you all finish your quest, I'm guessing? Okay, well, I do want to run maybe Thievery and Mischief if anybody would want to. Okay, I was just pointing that out because I did miss the first skirmish, so I wouldn't mind doing that to finish the quest, but I can do it solo if nobody wants to join. Okay, so yeah, most people in the group, they already finished, which I didn't really expect. I just thought I'd point out before everybody left that I could do Thievery and Mischief, but we can do a solo skirmish. They're actually pretty fun on tier 3, I think, for this Warden. Maybe I can try to get my ally imbued. Thievery and Mischief, but I might actually wait and work on imbuing my ally and then try that in a few minutes. But yeah, sorry I was late today, everyone, but thanks for all the fun with the skirmishes. So I'm going to switch to my Runekeeper. So I can, yeah, he should have some ally resources basically. And yeah, Thievery and Mischief, that is a fun skirmish. It should also go by quickly, at least relatively quickly for a solo tier 3. And for my Warden, pre-imbuement, I did the Mirkwood skirmishes solo on tier 3, and they actually provided a decent amount of challenge playing on the yellow line. I didn't have to switch to the blue line or anything, but it was actually pretty fun, so I'm excited to try Thievery and Mischief solo, see how it is. Okay, so let's see what the Runekeeper has. He has 1 Starlight Crystal, so it looks like I will have to buy 1 pre-imbuement Starlight Crystal. I can get a lot of the post-imbuement ones relatively easy, I think, from the Motes of Enchantment vendor person thing. Let me see if this character, I don't know. I also would actually be interested in Imbued Legacy Replacement Scroll. Don't want that. Scroll of Delving, I should actually keep that with my, yeah, I will give that to my Warden. I'll give all my stuff to my Warden. My Warden's going to be my main character. Might as well build that one up first. And then any other LI stuff. Okay, don't need new LIs. Ooh, I have 2 of these. I have a Tome of Fate 13 and a Tome of Fate 10 just randomly on this character. I don't really use any of those on my characters. Okay, that one is bound. I have the Scroll of Delving. That is all this character has, but I do want to look at his vault just in case I stuck something in there. Probably just return to Bree with this, that would be easiest. And yes, Zero Cool, I am playing on Anor on the server, or on these characters are on Anor. I randomly got 5 LOTRO points when I logged in. I have no idea what that's about, but I logged into this character and it says you've earned 5 LOTRO points, so that's exciting, I guess. I wonder if deed complete, maybe, I don't know, maybe it was one of these deeds though. Just randomly logging in, it decided to give me the LOTRO points from those. In fact, I wonder how many LOTRO points I have. I have 22 or 2661 right now. Actually, I probably get to a vault quicker over here. This used to be the vault location in Bree, but there are a lot of different options for town services like that in Bree nowadays. Okay, so I don't think I have any LI stuff hidden in here, but thought I would check and I do not, so this character has 163 gold. That should be enough for 1 Starlit Crystal. I don't mind spending it, especially as an investigation type thing. As an Earling is actually, it's 190 gold. That seems a little bit expensive. I saw them on the server closer to 100 gold, and I think that's the more normal price for that type of thing. I will send all my heritage to my Warden though. All this different mail. This is the type of stuff when you have a bunch of alts and have a lot of different things like this scattered on them. This is the exact type of stuff that can make it take forever to do. The imbued LI process, at least for me. Okay, so I will log out the Runekeeper and go on the Warden next. It is nice, I guess, with the imbued LI that you don't need to worry about LIs afterwards, but as I think most people know, there are many grindy type issues and just how long it takes to get all the scrolls and all that sort of stuff. Okay, so we'll see what I have on this character, but yeah, I think I do only have 2 Starlit Crystals, and I might already have a Scroll of Delving, or maybe I still need to get one. That I would like to do. Okay, so I have all that heritage. That will be useful if I need to level anything up. And then I have 1 Scroll of Delving, so I will need another Scroll of Delving unless I used a Scroll of Delving on my spear, which is possible. And it does look like I used one on my spear, so that is what happened to the one I had. And the spear is ready to reforge, so work on that. Probably marked in diminished target debuff. So as far as the javelin goes, I think I mentioned that I want to replace target resist rating, this one, with in-combat power regen. So I have to get a javelin with in-combat power regen, level that up and deconstruct it, and try to run somewhere reasonable. I'm going to run to the skirmish camp. I want to check a couple things there. Actually, hold up. We are not going to the skirmish camp. We're going back this way. And I'm going to try to do this with all the UI panels open so I can go ahead and get started with this process to save a little bit of time. Okay, so first I need to meld Unidentified item, Warden's Javelin of the 3rd Age, level 95, and I hope it has in-combat power regen. So then I have to go to the Forge Master, identify it. Then I'm going to level it up. We'll use the good 900,000. Actually, I have to slot it first. Which means I probably want to deconstruct a Bleeder here. Bleeder of Gondor. But I'm going to level it up to at least 61 before I do that. And then I probably have to unlock it as well. Okay, so I'll do that. It doesn't matter what I actually get out of this. I'll get range damage just in case I ever want to make another ally, maybe. And then I want to slot the Javelin here. And get some heritage on it, reforge it. I don't know how you get in combat power regen, actually. I should pay attention to that. So it is in combat power regen is a major legacy. I still can't believe I actually want that. I don't even know if it's that useful. 1,000 power. It's not going to be worth a whole lot of effort if I can't get it. And in fact, it might be better for me to just put Vitality. Yeah, I actually do think it would be better for me to put Vitality and just try to get this. If this Javelin doesn't have it, I'll try to get it as my Crystal of Remembrance, the 7th Legacy. So we don't have to spend all this time. I should have thought about that before, but that is okay. This will still give me some item XP, I guess, and some random resources. In the long run, it does lose me a little bit of item XP because deconstructing this won't give me exactly what I put into it back, but yeah, so deconstruct, and then meld. What do I want to meld this time? I want to meld a Legacy and Legacy of Vitality. Okay, here we go. Put this under Warden's Javelin of the 1st Stage, replace target resist rating. This is the strategy with imbued allies. So I really do want a Starlight Crystal, and the way I think this works is if I get this max tier 58, which I do want one of these anyway, it looks like you can use this on an ally. Okay, so we're going to do the Spear, 3 Starlight Crystals, but we're not going to do that with the Javelin. So I am doing an experiment to test what doing 3 Starlight Crystals before imbuing versus 3 Starlight Crystals after imbuing, if actually doing the Starlight Crystals before has any effect, because there's a lot of inconsistent information, it seems like, regarding allies. So I do want to test this. I might even test these Scrolls of Empowerments to do all my legacies to max on the Spear and not do that on the Javelin, so we can see the exact difference. And Salmon-Fire, I agree, Vitality is not good, but all of these other legacies for the Warden are even worse than, I think, 240 Vitality. Even compared to 150 Vitality, I would sadly rather 150 Vitality than these other legacies for the Warden. Unfortunately, it's just the case. And Oscro, you're wondering my final thoughts on the Rift? The Rift game, not the Rift of Nerzgashu from LOTRO. I think it is a fun game, and I will go back to it. The main problem with that game to me, I think, is the content. It just never kept me interested long enough because I really like the gameplay and all the building stuff. And that is my very short thoughts on Rift, the MMO. So Embers, Motes of Enchantment. I used to have a ton of Figments of Splendor. This is Motes of Enchantment. Okay, I used to have a ton of Figments of Splendor. I eventually got the training dummy. I don't know if you can go from Figments to Motes. It looks like you can go Motes to Figments, but I don't know if you can go the other way around. I think on a lot of my alts kind of scattered about, I have a lot of Motes. Or a lot of gear that can be deconstructed into Motes. So I don't know, maybe I won't be able to get a lot of Scrolls of Empowerment, but we will see maybe what I can get. I do want to imbue today. It would be a little bit of a process, but if you all don't mind, maybe I'll go through that. And Zero Cool, you said you played from 2008 until the servers closed. You were on Meneldor, and you just came back and rerolled New Tune on Arkansas to play with friends some. And yes, the game has changed a lot. I do want to point out that transfers from closed servers, so your character from Meneldor, your character's there, You might be able to transfer them to Arkenstone for free in the near future. It sounds like they're getting that up at some point soon. Okay, legacy tier upgrades. Maybe I'll just do it with one legacy on the spear. That way, with the Scrolls of Empowerment, at least I don't have to worry too much about that. I guess it doesn't really matter which one of these I use. So I will do the spear and see whatever I have the highest. That is tier 3, tier 2, tier 3, tier 1. The vitality is tier 4. How about light damage? Or actually range damage. I do so much range damage. That is tier 1 though. Okay. And the idea of saving... I wouldn't really save much resources. I'll just do range damage. It really doesn't matter. I'm going to use a bunch of Scrolls of Empowerment anyway, and range damage is what I think is good for me right now. Oh, I might upgrade this. I can still level this LI, maybe reforge it. We'll do a big 940,000 just to level it up a bunch. Okay, so forge, and I also want the relic combination back. Let me go ahead and destroy this captain. Nobody wanted that, so I'll go ahead and destroy it. Okay, light damage. That is all. It only leveled up once from that 940,000. These really do take a while to level the first stagers. I want to get it all the way to level 70 preferably. Maybe I should do those last. I'll do another 837,000, see where that takes it. Light damage. Okay, 62. I might have to get some heritage from... Oh no, my Guardian might have some. Even my Beorning could have some. So yeah, I might log into another alt and see what sort of heritage my alts have real quick. Oh yeah, leveling 8 tunes from 100 to 130 would definitely take a lot of time. Even leveling 1 to 130 is crazy, but even 100 to 130 is a lot of time, so I can see the concerns there. Zero cool with transferring and not knowing where with all that. That's kind of one problem I have. I like playing my characters both on Arkenstone and Anor. My kin, the main kin I play with is on Anor, and that's the main reason I play here. Let me see. Doubt that lore master has much. My Beorning might. Let's see, I have too many characters. Actually, I take that back. I have too many characters that it takes so long to find the one I'm actually looking for. But yeah, splitting time between two servers I don't think always works out that well, and doesn't even for me, because I also like the content on Arkenstone, all the level 130 stuff. Tomorrow I plan to go back to Elderslade on Arkenstone on my Warden there. But because I split my time between the two servers, I'm basically not really that much caught up even with Update 28 quests. I've done a lot of it, just haven't finished the Elderslade part of the zone. I guess the non-war phase. Oh, this character does not have much. I'll still mail all that stuff. I wonder what I sent. Looks like a bunch of reputation stuff. Okay. Not interested in that right now. I know I can also get from the skirmish camp a lot of heritage, but I thought I would check what my alts have and go ahead and use the resources I have before searching for new resources. It does just take an extra minute to do that. It is a benefit of having a bunch of alts, is you can have all these different things. It's just scattered out, so it takes a few minutes to go through. But this is basically what I do when I am actually imbuing and all that stuff. I go through all my alts, see what they have, and round up all the resources on a single character that I'm working on. And sometimes I'll have stuff actually in my shared storage, but my shared storage on my characters in general is such a mess right now that I don't have anything like that. And zero cool kins like that are very great for people like you, kins that are level capped and slowly progress and enjoy at different end games. And I think it does help you relearn the game a little bit, but it also maybe lets you see some end game content you haven't seen. Like, people don't really do Mordor group content unless you're in a level capped kin. Just for example, that's something I know after level 100. See, maybe on this character, I can actually see what I have in my shared storage. And yeah, having a lot of shared storage space is a good thing. I have 110 slots, which is a lot. Ooh, 640,000, that's pretty good. I'll put it in chest 10. This character I won't have to do the whole mail thing. Actually, this character I can deconstruct some stuff. That would be a little bit helpful. Open forge, okay. Reforge. I gotta be careful. This character has a lot of stuff that's actually being used. But if I can reforge some stuff, wow, I have a ton to reforge on this character. If there's some stuff I can reforge, and something at least I can deconstruct, like the 73 sword and this other 73 sword, maybe at least both of those things. That did not level it up. I want to get it to 51 is what I'm doing right now. Okay, open relic combination, deconstruct that. And let's say I do want a single one-handed weapon for this character. So it could be that guardian sword. The mace is at the max and it's low level, so definitely deconstruct that. Let me go ahead and do this. Clean up the salt a little bit. Just logging on the guardian though, that makes me want to play my guardian. I do miss playing this guardian a little bit. Yeah, the instance finder. Oh, about cross-server grouping in LOTRO. That would be nice. I don't see it ever happening because you can't even transfer between, say, EU and NA servers. Now, maybe between EU and NA individually within themselves, if they could have cross-server grouping, that would be nice. I'm not sure I ever see that happening. It would be a great achievement for the game, I think, if they were actually able to do that. Okay, don't really care what legacy I get. I'm mainly interested in these heritages, which I got some nice ones, and that was my goal there. And I have to find, once again, my vault this time. Not my vault. No, wrong one. Shared storage. There it is. And I have 4 slots left, so that is enough to put the 2 new heritages I got. Alright. And Vulgar TG, you're wondering if I have any class plans or interest in WoW Classic for the Burning Crusade, which you bring an interesting point in that question. I don't know how or why this happened, but a lot of people shorten the Burning Crusade to TBC. But I remember back in the day, people would always shorten it to BC instead of TBC. And it's really weird seeing a lot of people call it TBC now instead of BC. I don't know if I'm just misremembering something or if people actually changed what they called it. But yeah, it's just a weird thing to me seeing the Burning Crusade not referred to as just BC. It's almost like LOTRO, it's the Lord of the Rings Online, which most people call it Lord of the Rings Online anyway. I think it's technically the Lord of the Rings Online, at least. Let's see, I want to go with my Warden. But yeah, people shorten it to LOTRO instead of T-LOTRO, which would be really weird. It's almost like that, I think. But I just thought it was really weird. It seems like everybody now calls it TBC instead of BC. It's almost like Dead Mines versus people calling that either DM for short or VC for the name of the end boss, Van Cleef. So Oscar, you remember it being just BC too? That is good to know. I thought I might have been crazy about that. It just seems like everybody calls it TBC now instead of BC. I still might actually call it BC, but as far as my actual plans for that, I am tentatively planning. I don't know when the expansion is going to come out, but I want to do at least one classic WoW stream to introduce all my characters on there. And then I want to do a fresh shaman when the Burning Crusade comes out on probably on the Alliance side. I could do the Horde side, but I usually play Alliance. I would do a Draenei Shaman. Wow, that's a lot of heritage. I should have enough stuff to level my allies now. Except I want the shared storage. Where is it? There it is. I have a lot of universal solvents. Relatively a lot for us not really using them on the server yet. Here is the new heritage runes. Probably should call them heritage runes rather than heritages. It's a little bit of a weird term, heritages. And yeah, Dire Maul did change that with dead mines. I know there's a whole lot of different opinions on how that works. That was, in Classic WoW, it seemed like every day for a long while there were arguments on dead mines being DM versus VC and what to call dead maul. I was always the fan of calling dead mines DM, to be honest, and then calling Dire Maul either like DME, DMW, or DMN, depending on which wing you ran, or just calling dead mines, to be completely clear, dead mines, or DMVC, which hardly is even shorter at that point. But it's kind of funny to me in a way, just all the arguments between DM versus VC for dead mines. Let's see, Legacy? What did I... Oh, this is to upgrade. Okay. I was very worried that I like deconstructed this or something, just did something messed up while I was going on talking about that. Okay, so Spear still needs to level up. Javelin needs to level up a lot. Let's resort this, see where this gets it. Defiant Challenge, damage return, probably. Let's see, Javelin, I would say can use 600,000 the most. That wasn't even overkill. I thought it would be. Wow, 575,000. Let's do that to the Spear. That still wasn't too much. Okay, 575,000 should be enough on the Javelin. The Spear is ready to reforge. Shield Gambit line healing, that's actually a useful one. The Spear, surety of death damage over time. I do have one Legacy tier upgrade left. Let's see where that can take the Javelins. Not the Javelin, the Spear's light damage, which is tier 4 right now. Okay. So what I need is 3 scrolls of empowerment.
Dark skies.
So 1, 2, 3. So Vulgar, I play on, I want to call it Westfall, but that does not seem like it should be the name of the server. I think it is Westfall though. The one thing with Classic WoW is I never actually found a good guild. And that's one of the almost problems with it, staying a little bit longer, or even still playing it. I may occasionally log in more frequently if I had a guild in that, but I basically haven't played it for a while. And one big thing I like to do in World of Warcraft is make gold. So I spend a lot of time, I had basically a dedicated bank alt, and it seemed like the last couple months of my playtime there, I was just playing the bank alt. So that was another problem with the game is, I don't think it's technically that I wasn't really playing the game because that's just a part of the game, but see, I want to do Spear and light damage. Did I upgrade light damage all the way? Did I finish that? I thought you could get to tier 7. I might be mistaken on that. Okay, maybe tier 5 is the max. It looks like I have 5 of these, which would mean I don't have light damage, so maybe that is the max tier. I thought it was tier 6, or it could just be light damage. It's just weird. I don't know. And Jim Derringer, you're wondering if I had advice for Blue Line Captain. Trying to think if I have any random tips. The main thing is to keep up your heals over time, and always try to keep up the healing mark on an enemy if you're trying to heal, I assume, as a Blue Line Captain. And yeah, just use your heals a lot. Gallant Display is pretty good. And use your Shield Brother skill. I forget what it's called, but it is one of the melee attacks that gives like healing to your Shield Brother. When you have traits that make that affect your whole fellowship, that will be useful to keep up as well, as far as I remember. Okay, so allies. This one is ready to imbue as far as I know. What we're mainly testing is I have one legacy that is already maxed out pre-imbuement, and I have the Starlight Crystals. I have 3 Starlight Crystals pre-imbuement versus the Javelin. I don't have any Starlight Crystals pre-imbuement. and I didn't really level up any legacies. So I am testing the effect of having a max legacy versus non-max legacy. So just for example, actually I have a tier 6 legacy, it looks like, on the Javelin. So I will test how the different tiers pre-imbuement affect all this stuff, basically. And I think we are ready to imbue, otherwise they're max level and all that. The main thing is really getting the legacies, though. All this other stuff will basically save a few scrolls of empowerment, maybe, or a couple starlight crystals, maybe, at most. And yeah, overall you need hundreds of scrolls of empowerment and quite a few starlight crystals. So in the kind of long run, it's relatively small amount of stuff you save, which for what can be a lot of effort. If you do a lot of the kind of maxing out things of allies before imbuing them. And I don't really consider that too much worth the effort, but that is one thing we are testing today. And one thing I want to do is I want to make sure I get a screenshot of both of these pre-imbuement. Alright, so I'm actually going to keep these up as well. These are my pre-imbued allies. View legendary item. Okay, and then I will do the Javelin. Make sure this is right. Yeah, those all look okay to me. They're not the best, but the Warden doesn't have many legacies they really want. Okay, so we got the Javelin imbued. That is 14 out of 23, and I can get it to 33, so it'll take 10 starlight crystals. The hypothesis is that this will only take 7 starlight crystals, and if that's the case, it'll be no difference doing the starlight crystals pre and post imbuement, I think. If I added stuff up right there. Yeah, 10, this will be 10, and this one should be 7. This one, yes, this one will be 7, so there is no difference in doing starlight crystals before or after, it looks like. Now this one actually started at lower level, it's tier 11, this one started at 14, but the max tier on this is 26, and that is the big difference. As for the legacies, it looks like it is the same case. Actually I had one that was tier 6, maybe it was this one, the 34. So this one should be 34 as well for the light damage, and that does look to be the case. So the way I thought it worked before was scrolls of empowerment and starlight crystals did not matter if you used them before or after, and that does look to be the case. The starlight crystals I think can matter if you have a weapon that has stats on it. So like vitality, critical rating, that type of stuff, it can be slightly better as far as I know doing these starlight crystals before rather than after. But this is what the allies look like after imbuement versus before. So the next step I really have is 99 mithril coins for that. The last legacy slot, I can get a Crystal of Remembrance for that. And I don't remember how to get these through in-game activities. I really doubt there's any on the auction house on the server, but we can see. Remembrance. If I even spelled that, let me just search crystal because I don't trust my spelling. Okay, it is not there. But each of my characters, I don't remember what this is from, but each of my characters gets 1 Crystal of Remembrance that is bound to them. Unfortunately, they do not get 2. That would be very nice if I got 2. So, I am ready to use this on one of my things, and what I can look at is replace legacy. Okay, it looks like that would be 50 mithril coins. I'm not interested in actually replacing a legacy, but just to look at the list of legacies, the main thing I would want is, sadly, in combat power regen. I think that would be useful, more useful than even any of these, even any of the percent bonuses. Actually, spear, shield, gambit damage. I thought I had that one, to be honest. That is actually a little bit scary. I know I have an imbued legacy replacement scroll. I think I have that on my Runekeeper I could send over. But this one could be slightly useful. It's not really that important, which is kind of the case of all these. And yeah, that's pretty much the only one I would really consider other than getting in combat power regen. So I totally missed. I thought I had that or either had it on the spear, but yeah, I totally missed that. Maybe I was confusing it with just spear gambit damage, which is still equally as not too useful. The main thing with those, the spear gambit damage, for anybody wondering, the spear gambits are strong. So like Unerring Strike, it has a very strong bleed to it, but the actual damage the spear gambit does for the common main hand damage part, let me put this up here so I can circle that. That is very weak, and that is what the spear gambit damage actually affects. And that is also the case for the trait here. Not that trait. The trait right here, spear gambit damage, it is also the case with this trait. It only affects the main hand damage part there, which is very tiny, especially relative to the bleed. So that's why that is not as useful as it might seem. Yeah, the power regen, the only reason I'd slightly consider that is I have had power issues on this Warden lately. It's something very easy to fix, and at high levels it's definitely not going to be useful at all. You have so much power regen. I know Louisden, for example, has a ton of that. And right now I actually have 857, so I could about double that. But I kind of agree. I think I would rather have spear gambit damage or spear shield gambit damage rather than in combat power regen. But I don't really want that. The other consideration is what I would want on the spear. And kind of similarly, I don't think there's anything here I'd almost consider hampering javelin reset chance. This one actually might be useful. This spear, don't want critical strike, critical damage. That skill is, unless it's been updated, it's so useless that I took it off my bars. It's actually easier to search for. Yeah, this still does basically no damage. But anyway, definitely don't want that one. Recklessness critical rating, not really useful. But yeah, the hampering javelin reset chance, I have to look into that. Maybe somebody knows how that works, but the way I thought it works is there's something that would reset that. I don't know if it is something in the yellow line that could cause that, or what it was. I don't exactly remember. Or if it was anything, or if it's just something that can reset. So that one slows. I knew that it made it an AoE slow for the yellow line. I don't think that would actually turn up anything. But anyway, that's the only legacy I would somewhat consider. Could be, I don't think it would be a blue line something. But basically, for the Crystal of Remembrance, I'd actually rather that, I think, on the Javelin right now. Even though the Hampering Javelin, I will check how that works. See if there's anything I am missing there. Okay, so this will take me just a minute to search this, unfortunately, and I am seeing the it looks like Hampering Javelin. I still don't know how this works, like what causes it to reset, basically. That is what I'm trying to see, but it does look like people use it. Perhaps somebody is familiar with that, but I kind of forget about this legacy. I used to not really use Hampering Javelin that much, but I found it quite a bit useful lately. So maybe I will get that. It sounds, if it actually works functionally, it sounds the most interesting to me for this character. So I should have Crystal of Remembrance. I will apply it to the spear, basically, in short. And for my open legacy, which I now get to just select, I'll get the Hampering Javelin reset chance. But the way, just based on the wording of it, since it doesn't say anything, I would guess whenever you use Hampering Javelin, it would have a chance to reset. And hello, Tessa, you said you just stumbled on my stream and this is taking you back. You haven't been on LOTRO in years. Well, LOTRO, this might look a lot different if you haven't played in years with the Imbued LI. That's what I've been working on probably the past half hour or something. It takes a little while to do that. I also spent a lot of time doing that in my last stream on this character, and I accidentally exited everything out before I actually compared my two LIs compared to their previous version. But hopefully the damage of my skills goes quite a bit up, especially when I get the DPS legacies up, which would be my next step. I don't think I will work on that today. I do plan to do a little bit of Dol Amroth questing for the rest of the stream, maybe like 20 minutes there. But Starlit Crystals, I want to get a lot of these, so maybe I'll actually do missions. That is something I need to get doing a little bit more. Oh, I also have Thievery and Mischief. I don't know, we might not get to Dol Amroth Questing. I might have to change the title of the stream, to be honest, since I probably won't do Dol Amroth Questing, now that I just remembered I have Thievery and Mischief. And I have, let's do this, tier 3. And I do actually want to do missions, just check on that, remind myself what the reward is. I think it is 1 Starlit Crystal per week, though, would be the pace of that. Alright, hopefully I do have a little bit of noticeable improvement compared to how it was pre-Imbuement. For my Runekeeper, it was a huge improvement. I like immediately noticed all my skills were doing twice the damage post-Imbuement compared to pre-Imbuement. But I feel like my Warden was already strong. It might be a little bit hard to see. I wonder, I just had something happen there. Ranged. Okay, I just had a couple attacks go at the same time. And just because this is tier 3, it will be a little bit dangerous for me to do stuff exactly like I am doing right now. So just so you all know, I will push my Warden as far as I can, at least in the yellow line. So I could end up getting myself killed by doing things like this. Especially with the slow that the Shepherd of Filth, or the little crawlers from the Shepherd of Filth, put on me. And the morale taps, I don't even use them for the healing. They do actually give me a little tiny bit of healing though. I don't even remember if I summoned my sage, but if I did, he died basically right away. I know there is another counterattack, but it is just too fun to not continue to pull enemies. I actually might even be able to avoid that counterattack, I'm not sure. It wouldn't be too exciting if I did, but I might technically be able to, especially they're running off so far now. I don't know if I want to take the effort to go back and get them. Unless I die, that would actually force me to go back in a way. Just because I have to respawn there. So I might give my health a chance to restore a little bit and use some of my consumables. I do still have 2 scrolls of empowerment. The spear has ranged damage. Oddly enough, the spear is the one with the ranged damage legacy. So I'll upgrade that one. I also wouldn't mind applying heritage, just get these up a little bit. I know it's a little bit slow to do it that way, but since I have all this heritage, it'll also clean up my inventory on this character. Okay, I think my health definitely restored up by now. I don't know where the Harbinger comes in this. I do have to pay a little bit of attention to that, since they can actually be, I'm already running into dangerous stuff, but they can actually be even more dangerous. That's why without the Ill Omens event, I basically have no motivation to ever just randomly run a tier 3 skirmish. As fun as it is, there's not much point in it. It seems like the marks and medallions you get isn't much from it. You don't really get gear or no chance at starlight crystals doing it solo. So I never do end up running them. But they are pretty fun, even just this. I can get something fun to do. And gives my Warden, compared to just plowing through it on tier 1, a little bit more challenge and slightly slower pace, I guess. Looks like the Harbinger of Dead appeared, and we have a counterattack here. There's the Harbinger. Okay, so I will clear this area out, actually. Or at least this side of this area, and then maybe get the Harbinger. Alright, use a bunch of random stuff to bleed enemies. Well, I'll go ahead and get the Blood Rook. They're kind of annoying. Yeah, skirmishes I think would be a great thing for Standing Stone Games to revisit. I'm not too sure that ever will happen. Hopefully one day they could. I think it would be neat if they could add more skirmishes as well. But having said that, I really like the new group content they're doing, having like it, you'd be able to do it solo but then also run it in an actual group. So I wouldn't want it to come at the cost of those basically, but if they could add skirmishes into the mix, I think that would be a pretty nice thing. Okay, that Harbinger, the actual Harbinger there, not his little ad, he did get hit by a dot eventually. Gotta remove my disease, and I think I can slow him. That is actually something I do want to do. Can slowly test the hampering javelin reset chance. Interrupt. It looks like he has another calling arm. I don't know if I just missed that one from before, or what happened with it. It's taking a lot of damage. I guess whenever I hit the Harbinger, it'll damage his arm. Okay. Might as well AoE both of them. Get double damage effectively. And I am losing morale. I have some potions if I actually put them on my bar. I am in melee stance right now. I want to go ranged. I want to interrupt. I don't think I interrupted in time, but he didn't really do anything to me. Okay, so I have one dot there. Then I think if I use a 4 Gamma skill like this, that'll be another dot. That is all the dots at the moment. I almost feel like I should have just let him induct and ran away, but it doesn't really matter too much. Oh, so Andrew, you actually can get Starlets doing tier 3 solo at 130? Maybe one every 3 or 4 skirmishes? I did not know they actually had any drop chance in solo. That actually makes me a little bit more excited to be doing this. I know the Harbinger right now is a little bit of an exciting thing, but that would give me maybe motivation if I just randomly wanted to know that I could actually get something like that. I assume it would be the same for level 100, especially on the legendary server, because that's where we get starlight crystals. I would guess running anything above level 100 would do that. Wow, this, comparing to the Harbinger, this Balak guy here, he has basically no challenge to him, even on tier 3. He's basically nothing right now. $111 marks isn't all too bad for a solo skirmish, though. It's not that good compared to other stuff, but still at least not absolutely horrible, I guess. But yeah, we got that done. I completed my second day of Ill Omens finally. I know I've been very bad and slow about that, but I don't think I will ever complete all 12 that you need for the rapper quest, but make a little bit of progress on that. It's just too much for me to do every day, and that's one of the problems I almost feel like with Ill Omens. The biggest problem to me is you can actually get the quest on anybody above level 20, even if skirmishes aren't available. And the biggest thing is the availability of skirmishes and them being gated behind other stuff, especially for the event for you to be able to do it. But yeah, I don't think I will have enough time to get a portent. These items are really strong. I actually consider that a problem with Ill Omens. I don't think it's a bad thing that limited time events can have interesting things, but these are particularly strong. I know a 10-minute cooldown, they nerfed them a lot. Actually, the duration's only 15 seconds, but it's still a significant, almost like mini Oathbreakers type effect. The exciting thing is I can get an Ill Omened Hound, and I have no idea what an Ill Omened Hound looks like. The only other one I would actually be interested in is maybe the White Horn. I didn't even know White Horn was a thing, but I really want this Ill Omened Hound, even though I don't know what it looks like. And I know I could look in the collections panel. I assume Ill Omened Hound, I could actually look, but this is more of an exciting reveal to me, I guess. So the damage reduction portent, sounds like you like that, Andrew. That works nice. Yeah, I would probably, just because I really like damage, I would get the damage boosting one, I think. And it would be a really useful thing for me to finish, but I don't think I ever will be able to get that. But let's see what the Hound looks like. It's a little bit small, but it's almost like a personal Barghest. I like it a lot. I'm happy with my choice to get that. Maybe I can get him up somewhere, somehow get him up in a better spot for a screenshot. This is actually decent. It looks like a good puppy. Doesn't quite work. Thought I'd try to use the pat emote. Can almost get a screenshot. I want to get a screenshot like that, but of his face. I don't know if it's quite possible to get that angle. Maybe if I turn around. Okay, I have to actually. I have a very short chance basically to get a screenshot like that. I don't think I will. Actually, here he is pretty close. I'll have to put him in an upcoming thumbnail. I don't know when, but that will be my goal, to put him in a thumbnail. Anyway, I'm excited, if y'all can't tell, just to have that Hound, have him follow me on some adventures. Which actually, I think I do want to do. I do want to check missions. And then maybe check Dol Amroth. I'm not entirely sure on that, but next step for this character is missions. First, I want to see the progress that my Warden has on missions here. I know I did a lot of the missions I've done have actually been on this character. At least a lot of the ones I've done on a Warden. I think my Minstrel on Arkenstone might have done the most missions for any of my characters. I feel like that Minstrel in particular, is such a great character for missions, that it just worked out to be that way. I'm going a little bit of an odd path here. Don't really ever visit the side of Bree too often. That guy looks like a brigand. I don't know if it's just unfortunate or if he actually is a brigand. But I feel like I should be defeating him for a quest. Okay, it does look like I have the mission quests on this character. So complete 3, and the weekly I need 2 more. The main thing from the weekly is actually the Motes of Enchantment, not even the 3 Scrolls of Empowerment or single Starlit Crystal. And the daily even gives a decent amount. It's something, I feel like just with the missions, they were in such a rough state at the start, but now you actually do seem to get a somewhat decent amount of Motes of Enchantment overall. I still think there's a little bit of problem with the reputation, just taking a lot of reputation. Even after doing every single mission, you still need a lot more reputation from what I've heard. And that's even with using reputation boosts. This one is just defeat hobgoblins, which should be just a few range resounding challenges. But yeah, I feel like my review for the missions about it being a good idea but poorly executed is still a little bit true today. but less so now that it's more rewarding. That was a big issue, I felt like, with it. Okay, it's a little bit slow just waiting for the dots to go on. And it looks like they're calling more ads, which of course wouldn't get hit by the dots. So I have to use them all again. That was actually relatively slow of a mission complete for just needing to kill 10 things. I feel like. Skatha's Legacy. Don't know what this one is. I feel like it is one I have done. Recover dwarf remains. Okay, this one should be fairly quick as well. I only need to click 6 things, but I will have to kill mobs, which is no problem. These actually do scare me. I don't know what affix they have, but if they have that thing that reflects fire damage, that could be very bad. I do have a debuff on me. I don't know if it is that though. Maybe they do something. It's 40% attack duration. This one just does a little bit of damage, not much. Okay, no issue there overall. Okay, so Jim, you talked about doing what the Old Republic did, and I'm not sure how Star Wars The Old Republic works, but it sounds kind of like what World of Warcraft did with their instances. And you said they scale instances dynamically and have proper rewards. A lot of people complain about missing content without joining Cappinkins, and that is true. I really like low-level group content in LOTRO. Like, all those instances and stuff are very fun. They don't always scale that well if you run them at like level 130, for example, or even on the server at level 100. But if they had it dynamically scale like your group and the content to your group's level, the way World of Warcraft does it is actually your character keeps the same level and everything scales relative to your level, even though people in the group can be all different levels and all things like that. And I agree, the ultimate likelihood of that happening is very small with LOTRO. And I kind of agree as well. Standing Stone Games seems very focused on just continuing on and not really fixing too much old stuff. They do a little bit of updates. I don't know if it's more the developers maybe just wanting to get certain things updated and they actually want to, and they're more limited by Standing Stone Games' bigger plans or what all goes on with that, but I kind of do agree with that. Block Goblin Doors. I have done this mission, I think. This is in the Great Goblin's Den. This is one I might have only done once. Here's a goblin door. There are probably still missions I have not done though. I've just done them on so many different scattered characters that it's not like a single character has a lot of progress with missions. Which is a good thing about it, it's just something I can very slowly do. And Vales of Anduin, I agree that looks good, Dr. Arden. It is a very nice looking zone. I also thought it was pretty fun questing overall. I don't know if it'd be that fun. It was a little bit linear though, so I don't know if it'd be that fun to replay. Or maybe after a while it would be, but I had a lot of fun questing there on my Warden. It was the most fun I had questing in new content in LOTRO at the time. Basically, since Rise of Isengard. And that's why it was such a significant update for me. Now, Update 23 and even parts of Update 22 weren't bad, but even nowadays there are some places after Isengard and before, say, Northern Mirkwood even, that I enjoyed a little bit more. This mission is a little bit more involved with the Goblin Doors. I actually have to roam around here a little bit. I almost feel like that is one problem of the missions, is some of them are super quick. So it almost sets this expectation that I feel like any mission that takes more than 2 minutes is like super slow and long. And Croc, you say my webcam is like 1440p resolution? or not 1440p, 144p. And it is kind of bad about autofocusing. If I put my hand up here, you all might be able to see it is focused right there. So I wonder if I block it. This is how I did it last time. Here, I will turn that off and see if that helps it at all. I can't really see. It's such a tiny portion of my screen. Yeah, that did not fix it. Let's see. I wonder if I turn it off and then turn it back on, if that would help at all. Okay, let's try now. It's still all blurry, unfortunately. But yeah, it's supposed to be autofocus. It's the Logitech C920, which has autofocus, which seems to be hurting right now. I have this problem randomly happen a couple times, and I really don't know what to do to fix it. Short of totally restarting OBS. Yeah, I'm not sure with that, unfortunately. Thank you for pointing that out. It's probably getting annoying me just switching between the whole blurry autofocus webcam. Hopefully it'll eventually pick back up. I don't know if I have to move a little bit. Give it something to pick up from farther away. I still see it looks a little bit blurry. It's hard to see again for me since it's such a small screen, small portion of my screen. So Ardwolf Digital, you said you have that same webcam and see that issue occasionally. Do you happen to know any fix for it? Because I think when I restart OBS, when I have had this issue while not streaming, not in the middle of a stream, it'll fix itself eventually, but I can't see. Let me see. I'm starting to test out the new, it's not really a new scenes feature, but new to me scenes feature on OBS. Let me try turning it off again. Okay, see if that somehow helps. That does not appear to. I also have this more like zoomed out version, I guess, of the webcam than the zoomed in one. Oh, check the camera settings in Windows? I don't think I've ever done that, to be honest. If I open the camera in Windows, it says it looks like another app is using that. Okay, probably turn off autofocus and then adjust manually in Logitech software. So I do not have the Logitech software actually, which could potentially be a problem. The only thing that I have that uses the webcam is OBS, and it just basically worked plug and play with that. So I didn't bother doing anything else with that. So I will look into the Logitech software and maybe even turning it on manual focus, or potentially resetting that, like setting it to manual and then auto, it'll adjust itself. But yeah, I could, if it's really bothersome, I could restart OBS and just see if that works. I don't think that would cause too many issues. It might go black for a minute, basically, the stream. Hey, I think it looks better and we should be back with the stream. That is weird seeing myself in the full resolution, I guess, of the webcam, not being super blurry, 2000s daily motion looking. But there we go. That should be back in. I guess whenever that happens, we'll just have to cut the stream off for a minute. At least without me knowing any other way to reset it or just totally turn it off without exiting OBS. So we are done with this mission though, during all that. Somehow managed to stumble through getting it done. But thank you all for letting me know that. That was a slight concern just because I saw it happen. Just like randomly opening OBS, that it would be totally out of focus. And it'd be focusing like right up close to it. I guess whatever its closest focus point is. Okay, so we got the missions done, which is exciting. And I got a whole bunch of useless loot, more or less. Did get a Warden spear. I got a shield. I wonder if there's a better level 100 Warden shield I can get. Probably. Okay, so as far as motes of enchantment goes, which is mainly what I wanted from that. Wow, I have a lot of marks. Can probably get a few scrolls of empowerment, but I'd rather save that for reputation acceleration rather than scrolls of empowerment. But yeah, motes of enchantment, stacking up a little bit of those, I guess. It'll be slow, but mainly want the starlight crystals with it. Oh yeah, so Google Video, I actually remember that because that is before I got OBS. That somehow came up as like a way to stream or record video basically, and it was not that good for that. Let's go to Dol Amroth. I will do a tiny bit of Dol Amroth questing. So it sounds like the stream chat on YouTube works just like the old comments on Google Video. I don't remember the comments on Google Video.
Well met.
Okay, so what am I doing? I want to look at all the Dol Amroth quests I have. I have a ton of quests. I can't actually cancel those? Wow. Can I filter the quest? It won't even let me filter it? Oh no. Am I actually going to have to go back and complete these quests just to get them out of my quest log? That is not good. I thought I was done with West Rohan, but it looks like it wants to force me back there. I think the Central Gondor introduction quest is actually in Dol Amroth, so I will track that. Almost done with Mumakil in Southern Ithilien somehow, and I haven't even gotten to Eastern Gondor. Unfortunately, I'm getting the itchy nose that I seem to get at the end of streams. Not working on that right now. This one, Book 8, Chapter 1. Can probably cancel this one. I don't think I need that one. Oath of the Rangers. Okay, I will eventually complete that skirmish, maybe. Belthalis. This is something I actually want to do. In their absence, I can keep that. It'll give me 100 medallions. This one I can keep. Lothorian, okay, I cannot cancel that quest either. Mission, don't want to track. Old Anorian, not doing. Roving threats, not doing. Do I have turn-ins? Oh no, these are just, okay, Mirkwood. West Gondor, Belthalis, then Belthalis again. Okay, this one I want to do. Dead Marshes? Okay, we are not going to Dead Marshes yet. Blackroot Vale, that is Warband, Warband, Warband. Okay, this character is settled a little bit with the quest, just took me a minute to remind myself. And what my goal is to do the actual Dol Amroth questing maybe? I don't know what all it involves, but the quests inside the city, I would at least like to get started on those. Looks like I'm ready to go to Tarling's Crown. I wonder if I could solo that decently with an imbued ally. The first pull of it, basically, the entrance to the camp, both from the north and south side in the Blackroot Vale, is pretty tough for me to try to do solo. Okay, so quest-wise, I have a quest to complete, a bunch of quests. And the Hashadir quest, I actually remember these. These are ones I did before. I thought they were... Okay, that's a book quest to go way over there. The book quest, just as a heads up, this might actually be one that I want to use mithril coins on. I try to not use those too much, but I have so many of them and they are relatively cheap, which is something I just have to remind myself personally every time I spend them for quests, just because they're very helpful basically for some quests with travel. I think this one might be the case. So somebody in the kin, I know you all can't see that, but they said the skirmishes, they were enjoyed these skirmishes when the event for Ill Omens started. But now they are tired of the skirmishes, and I think that's a problem with it as well. You have to run so many skirmishes to get like the portent, especially if you want to get multiple of them. Okay, so I have this quest I do not want tracked. Okay, that one I don't want tracked. Hashadir itself is the beach to the southwest with all the corsairs and that type of stuff. City of Dol Amroth. Introduction Central Gondor. I will do that one later. We'll do City of Dol Amroth now to find the wharf. That was one problem, one concern, I guess, with me questing and actually starting that this evening is it takes so long for me to get organized, and somehow I did not die. I thought we were going to start this questing with a death, but fortunately I somehow avoided death. And only broke my Warsteed's legs. Yeah, I can still run. Almost fine. A little bit slower speed.
Well met.
But yeah, that was just one concern with starting this, because I thought it could take me quite a while to actually get this type of stuff done. And I think the book quest might even come back here if I remember correctly, but I'm not sure. So considering that is the case, I think I will actually head to do the book quest. I also do have fish delivery, maybe? City of Dol Amroth? I have to actually go to Artisan's Quarter. Plus these Dol Amroth quests, I think I've done some of them, but probably not all of them. I mentioned I did the ones in the southwest, that camp there. I think I did that on probably my Warden way back in the day. I did a little bit of Dol Amroth, but not too much. I mainly skipped Central Gondor. Well, I think I did skip Central Gondor, basically, when it came out, and then Eastern Gondor, I did Osgiliath, basically skipped to Osgiliath and didn't do anything in between, which means I also did miss the book quest back then.
What news do you bring, traveler?
I feel like this is something I sometimes talk about during streams, is I tend to sink down after sitting a while, and actually can see that with the webcam. I'm like way lower in the box than like I start at, basically. I feel like my outfit is a little bit out of place for, well, it appears to be a warm environment in Gondor. Even though this isn't that much better, it seems like this would be a little bit of a hot outfit as well, but
these are troublesome times indeed.
fortunately, I don't have to actually feel that. And this is an interesting area. Hopefully it lets me jump up here. I wonder if it actually would let me jump down. Some things like that are blocked in LOTRO. I actually didn't even expect it to let me jump up here. But I always want landscape screenshots, and this seems to be a good area to get one. Way off in the distance. I guess that's the... I don't know if it's the Belfalus Sea. Bay of Belfalus. That is what it is called. Anyway, actually I also do want some to the north. Whoa. Okay, I did fall off there, but I was able to get back on. Okay. And then quest-wise, we will work on the... Still the City of Dol Amroth quest, I think. Grumbling at the Fountain, I can maybe do that as well.
These are troublesome times indeed.
So we don't want the dissenters dissenting, we want them dispersing.
Times indeed.
NES Vulgar TG, the War of Three Peaks mini expansion is now in the LOTRO store, and I think it is 1995 LOTRO points. It's a little bit cheaper than most expansions, and way cheaper than the oddly expensive Helm's Deep. I really have no idea why Helm's Deep is... What is it, 42.95 LOTRO points or something like that? basically, I think way more expensive than what it should be, and way more expensive compared to other expansions, especially other expansions that I actually consider to be better expansions. Okay, that is complete. We dispersed all the dissenters and just completed that quest. Got some Amroth silver pieces and reputation. And apparently I already visited this place just by going over there. I have something over here. I don't know if it's an actual quest turn-in for the city of Dol Amroth or it'll continue. Looks like it is a continue quest. I need to find a library, which is down over this way, it looks like. Wonder it does not make me go into that, so that's kind of nice actually. I do want to go to the exit of the city. Don't think this is actually the exit. Looks like there are some quests here. Might as well pick up.
What news do you bring, traveler?
Maybe I can go ahead and do the quest over here. Only Mason's Court here is Laganed. Do I need to meditate? Except I cannot do that while mounted. I don't even know if it's like this fountain that I need to meditate at or if it's the actual big fountain, which it looks like based on the map it is that big fountain. Stuck on something. That is correct, Vulgar. No bore mount for the 1995 LOTRO points. I agree. This is a good place to meditate, so while I am meditating, or after I meditate, I need to write about how the stream of water is strong and bold. It looks a little bit neat, I guess. Dol Amroth is a pretty neat place, especially this area around that fountain, but I don't know, at the same time it feels a little bit annoying, I guess. Maybe it's just because it's not the easiest to navigate. Why do I have a quest ring here? Inspiration for a love poem. Oh, I need to examine a blue canopy for resemblance to Barian. No idea who Barian is, but there we go. There's a blue canopy. Oh, right here. That actually makes sense. Oh, now I need to write about that fabric. The fabric strength against the wind. Might have a little bit, but that seems to be probably because it's like tied down into the ground somehow. Okay, I have to actually go down here and look. This quest is a little bit more involved than I thought, but it is inspiration for a love poem, and I'm just taking all these notes of different things. So the person who is actually writing it, unless I am writing the love poem, but I seem to be just writing notes for the love poem for somebody else. So I am getting the inspiration to take notes, and then they're writing it seems like, which seems a little bit weird. There's a quest over there, but that is roving threats, so I will ignore that for now.
What news do you bring, traveler? Well met.
Now I need to bring the poem to Barian, and he is up to the southeast. Or she is up to the southeast. I need to find her stonework and its wheelbarrow. Which should, according to the map, looks like I could get to that over here. Here it is. It's nice to be back to questing. These aren't the most exciting quests, I will say, so far, the ones I'm doing, but it is nice to actually be back to questing. I feel like it's been a long time since I've just done solo questing in LOTRO. A lot of the stuff I've done lately has been group content with the Mithril League mainly. Even when I did Louisden recently, it was roving threats, and I did that with Dan's World, Dan's I think his name is Dan's World now. He went by his old channel name. He had a lot of different channel names or like branding names he'd call himself throughout various places. But for a while on YouTube it was Dan's Adventures, and then he kind of rebooted, and now it's Dan's World.
Well met.
But basically that's who I did the roving threat stream with. And yeah, it's just been a while, I think, since I've done solo questing. Even though last time I did some questing, I think there's supposed to be a fountain there. Here we go. There's just floating water for a minute.
Well met.
Continue this quest. In the city of Dol Amroth, it actually looks like it is ready to turn in. And it looks like that will be in the Court of Prince. I do want to do the book quest, though. This is another good spot for a screenshot, it looks like. So I need to collect sheet music. Oh, these little flying things? It's a little bit interesting. It's almost like there was a quest like that maybe during the anniversary. There's one of those festival quests to collect those flying notes or something. Kind of reminds me of that. One thing I do like about this area that maybe I didn't really appreciate before is this just looks out to the sea, to the Bay of Belfalis. But there's not really anything like that in LOTRO, other than this area that just looks out to the ocean. And that's it. There's a lot of areas with water that look out to like lakes or things, but other than Gondor, and especially this area in Gondor, everything is landlocked. And you don't really get to look out at areas like this, so it is pretty neat. And very unique area, I think, in LOTRO with that. And it looks like the sheet musics, there's also a lot of quests or things I can do. Maybe all the sheet musics are the little rings on the minimap, and I cannot select them with delete, but I can select them with F10. In Vulgar, War of Three Peaks content is not available on the Legendary server except for the missions. The missions are available on the server. And that is, of course, what I did right before I went to Dol Amroth, but everything else is not available, and even if it were, we don't really have anything to get level 1, above level 100. We are level capped at 100, so it would probably not be too good of an idea to adventure there if it were available. And for anybody that doesn't know, the keybind, I think by default to select nearby NPCs, which is sheet music, somehow counts as is F10. I know I pressed delete a lot to select items, but these are not considered items, it doesn't look like. Okay, so we got his sheet music back, so hopefully he can play a little bit better music with that instrument. That looks like a mini harp. Don't know what it is though. For some reason I want to call it a harpsichord, but I have no idea what a harpsichord is, or even if that's a real instrument. I just feel like I've heard of that, and if I had to guess what a harpsichord looks like, it would be something like the little instrument he was using. But for now, I feel like my war state is bothering too much. Normally I like the orc's head on a pike, but I do not want that right now. Flag of Gondor? I don't want a flag. This, having something, a little bit something on the back, wouldn't be too bad, I don't think. That even looks like it matches somehow to my current outfit. So I will keep that, and we'll get rid of the orc's head on a pike. That was bothering me. I don't know why I didn't replace it sooner. Especially since you can get, like, I think 3 or 4 orc's heads on a pike. Now I feel like my single one just isn't that good anymore. Okay, so yeah, headed northeast for the book quest right now. I feel like I should change the color, but it's just because the white looks basically like orange with the new rings they have. And last time we were in West Gondor is an oddly cloudy time. Every other time I've been here, it's been like this. Clear, bright blue skies. But yeah, right now, it is like this. Last time though, it was cloudy, so it was a little bit different. It was kind of nice getting the variation, but it is also nice being in bright blue. I don't know. I associate Gondor with like summer and warm area. I don't know if it actually is like that, but it looks like that to me. Which is kind of the opposite. It's of course winter right now, even though where I am we had almost a little bit of a, I don't know, I'd call it sort of a fall spring like thing, where it was relatively warm in the 40s degrees like Fahrenheit on Monday. So it was actually felt warm to me, which is unusual for that to feel warm, but relative to what it was, especially the week before that, it was nice and felt like spring. And then last night and yesterday and a little bit today, we had some snow. And it's cooled off, and I think we'll get a little bit cold again. This is a nice area. There's going to be a lot of nice areas for screenshots, I think. It's a little bit of spoilers for maybe these quests. If I remember if this is where the quests I'm thinking are for this zone, if this is actually where that happens. I don't know why I'm bothering putting all those dots on when I could just use a skill to just kill those mobs a lot quicker. Well, somebody got like a 14k crit. I don't know if that was me. Yeah, so I have another beacon to go to. But these areas, they're just so nice to get good wide landscape screenshots, I think. But the reason I use mithril coins here is I have to travel all the way to that beacon, I think. I don't think it's that one yet, but I travel all the way to that beacon. And it's just a long travel, basically. And saving all that time with mithril coins is quite convenient. Even the mountains I could get. All these areas are nice, I think, for screenshots to put in the background for thumbnails. But anyway, I don't think it would be too bad of a travel to look at the environment, but one mithril coin to speed all that up I don't think is a bad deal. Okay, so I have to search for a mysterious villain. According to the map, it is over this way, like basically right up here, but I think that's actually, okay. I have to actually go to the beacon up there. It's a cliff stalker. Any sort of mob I can kill on the way is good, because we were doing this when we did the roving threats. I think that was Sunday. We did roving threats, but we did a lot of the beast slayer. I think we killed probably 110 to 120 beasts while doing the roving threats. It was mainly, some other people were of course contributing and participating, but whenever we were actually killing a roving threat or just stopped, I would just go around pulling beasts with range resounding challenge. And of course with this gambit, it does all that damage over time, which eventually does kill a mob. Might even kill a signature on its own, I don't know. I'm actually curious if that signature will die just from range resounding challenge. But I'm kind of getting a little bit far away from where I need to with the quest. Does look like that killed a signature fairly easily. Okay, got overflow, which probably means I should have my subscriber town services still so I can sell. Don't care about a lot of this stuff. Overall, I might actually care about it for reputation, but I don't care about the reputation that enough to actually bother with that. Everything else here I can lock. Okay, so there is a Corsair leader that I need to kill here, who I would guess is maybe at the top over here or somewhere around here. I don't know, I feel like I pulled everybody. I think it's this one. He looks a little bit fancier dressed. Oh, I demoralized his allies. I was wondering why they ran away. That's actually a nice touch, I think. Even that raider is running away. Here's another leader that randomly appeared. Yeah, that Shatter Javelin's damage right there was so tiny. Alright, screenshot time. You actually get 2 decent views, one to the west actually. I thought I was looking towards the south, but that is the west. Dol Amroth, I believe, that is around the docks for Dol Amroth in that area. It's way off in the distance, so it's hard to tell, but I do believe that to be the case. There's also Ed Helond, that kind of elvish area, I think, right over there. Then there are, of course, the mountains to the east, which don't provide too much, and then to the north, mainly there's Callambel is that little town, but whatever this zone was actually called that I forget the name of right now. But I think we are ready to head to the next beacon, which, as far as I know... Oh, actually, it takes you all the way to Blackroot Vale, so you skip maybe that one. Okay, we are not doing the interlude, so I need to talk to him and complete a quest with him, it looks like.
A great beast flew out of the mountains, and now I fear a creature of much evil stalks the Blackroot Vale.
Declare my intentions. I want to try to succeed with my fellowship, but that... You're fortunate to have a fellowship, my friend. Let us confront the evil. Okay. Alright. We will do the fellowship option. This could be a very bad idea, but I want to see what happens. I have done the solo version of this. Okay, this is probably a bad idea. I was just curious how much challenge they would actually throw at you with the fellowship version. And just based on all these elites here, it seems like they do actually give you a little bit of a decent challenge. Maybe I can still get through it. It will probably take a little bit longer than it needs to. But I don't think having a little bit of challenge is all that bad of a thing. Plus, I really just wanted to actually test this, see what I was like. I don't think we're supposed to hit that thing. Although, compared to all the elites earlier, that type of stuff. In Vulgar, Trollshaw's questing starts at 35, but because the minimum level is 35, you can technically start it at 30. Although I would recommend waiting till at least maybe 31 or 32. A hunter's mace, which I do not want. And here's the Bane of Rune. I think this is one of the Nazguls, or I think it would be a Nazgul. Could be a regular Cargul, I guess, just a named one. Also, Tortuga, it sounds like you cannot play LOTRO, but that's because you are working and you can always watch. That is good, and I'm glad, I guess, you decide to watch me while you are working, which for me, at least, it is 10:48 p.m., which is quite late for me, but surprisingly still going. This basically past half hour of the stream. I did not expect to do all this with how things were going. Oh, so I get the Terrible Steed and the Bane of Rune. Trying the fellowship version of this quest with this is a little bit odd, and this is another time I missed Unnerving Strike, and Unerring Strike rather, not Unnerving. Important distinction, I believe. Okay, so I am going to use some heals, and he is doing an induction that will probably kill me, but surprisingly didn't. Basically, I'm using my heals right now. Probably not even the best idea to just use these, but Morale tap's probably not quite worth using. And I just actually canceled a gambit I had on him. Probably should slow him above anything. Get rid of my dot. Okay, I probably could have done the last bit of that fight a little bit more efficiently, but we finished the fellowship version of this quest. Ooh, I get a chest. I wonder if I would have gotten this chest doing the solo version. Or if it's like a fellowship only thing. But that was actually interesting doing the fellowship version. I feel like the whole bear incident with all the elites at first, that was not really challenging for a warden. I could definitely see it be more challenging for another thing. But we are ready to go to LOTRO. He seems to be a popular person right now. See, I will say that is one thing about doing streams and going this long and getting this late for me, like kind of a bit past my normal bedtime besides the nose itching that I seem to be getting right now, is forgetting words like that. It'll take me a second to remember a random thing like that. Like popular with LOTRO. Okay, so Vulgar, you just hit level 30 on your Beorning and you're trying to find somewhere different than your last path for leveling. And I will actually plan out. On my Beorning, I don't remember if I did Lonelands. I think I did Lonelands. Yeah, I did Lonelands on my Beorning. And then I did Trollshaws, so that was a little bit of a new path for me, oddly. I think I had done that before, but I haven't done just Lonelands without like any fillers in between. I got enough XP, especially my kinship. We had a level progression group that's actually the same Beorning that's a part of the level progression group that's in Moria right now. When I leveled him in 2020, back off YouTube, unfortunately, as fun as that would have been, the progress on him probably would have been a lot slower as well, but we'll set that aside. Is that a NPC? That actually is an NPC just standing in the middle there. That was a little bit unexpected. I expected it to be like a player, basically, and I thought it looked a little bit weird to be a player, but also weird to be an NPC. This one also looks like it should be a player just randomly standing there. And we were talking earlier, I think, about this type of equipment, basically. And that really does look like a player, especially when he turned there. But having a shield, and it looks like a halberd, almost like a two-handed version of a spear, which basically I think is supposed to be a halberd that you can also whack on the side with and not just stab with. But anyway, just that type of equipment is pretty neat. And having the shield at the same time, I don't know if he uses a halberd and a shield. Choose one. Honestly, I would rather, if I could get an Essence of Vitality, I would rather that, but I'll get the medium Nodden jacket because I cannot get a Vitality Essence. Probably Trousers of the Great Shore. That actually is an upgrade. I forgot my gear on this character is pretty bad. A little bit outdated. Okay, suspicious characters in Dol Amroth, I think. Speak with Swan Knight Guard outside the door. That might actually be the guy that was randomly right in the middle. And Vulgar, I am... Oh, so, okay. Never mind, that was not a question for me. So Tortuga hit 31 on his Beorning. He's starting Evendim. Oh, for the Dwarf Iron. Yeah, Evendim is good for Dwarf Iron?
I greet you, friend.
Oh, it's been too long since I've done a Prospector. There is the, Dwarf Iron is also, that's actually also good for Trollshaws. If I remember correctly, Trollshaws has a lot of Dwarf Iron ore as well. Sounds like you're both similar level on your Beornings and both on Arkenstone, which is my other server. Okay, so quests. Book quest, yeah, book quest is taking me to the wharf. Suspicious characters in Dol Amroth, that will be my next quest. I think before I head to the wharf, I will probably start wrapping up the stream and kind of get concluded with stuff here in a moment. I wonder if this fishing in the wharf actually makes me fish. You should fish on the low dock. Yeah, I might have fishing on this character actually. They really like this Jajax character. So now I need to investigate the suspicious character at the wharf. So as we're headed to the wharf, which I'm not sure I should head to, ideally my next time on this character I would actually go through that. And honestly, playing this character makes me want to continue Gondor and West Gondor in my next stream, but I really do want to get back to Elder Slate on Luiden, and after I let this, I guess, sit for a little bit, I will probably still want to do Elder Slate on Luiden. Not that I'm not having fun here, actually I'm having fun is why I want to get back to this on this character. But I also want to get back to Elder Slate on Luiden. But as I am headed down here to wrap up a little bit with the stream, I have no idea how long it was, but it's had to have been a pretty long stream, considering I was expecting it to go like 2 hours, to be honest, and get done kind of early today. Relatively early, I should say, for the relatively late start. But, yeah, we went quite a while and did a lot more than I expected. These skirmishes took a little bit longer than I thought. I thought as a group, as a kinship, we would get done with those a bit earlier. And I did have to do a solo skirmish, which was fun. And then we did missions, and then I actually am doing Dol Amroth Questing, which after all that I really didn't expect to get to, but I thought I might as well just head here and see what it's like. And yeah, led to all of this for the past like half hour or something. Made a lot of progress, to be honest. I did not expect to make all this progress as well with the Dol Amroth and book questing around West Gondor. So as far as the stream goes and all that goes, I hope you all enjoyed all of the content, and as a look out for the future, I am planning on streaming tomorrow, a little bit more stream oriented, I guess, over the next little bit than video oriented. There are a couple videos I am working on, but as I am focusing on streaming for the next couple of days at least. To Tol Finis? Do I actually need to go there for something? Oh, this is probably, yeah, this is the fishing quest. I want to untrack that. That is, I wonder if I should filter that quest. I would kind of hate to do that. It is a repeatable quest. Probably useful for me to do that quest. Also getting the Amroth silver pieces. Get scrolls of empowerment from those. Yeah, that does not look particularly appealing. The breastplate of the Great Shore here, this one actually looks kind of neat. Even the light armor of this looks kind of neat. The medium armor one just does not, though, unfortunately. I wonder if that actually is worth getting, if I'd actually even keep it. Oh, that does not look that good dyed, though. This one could be, if there was a full set of this, I would actually be interested in maybe the light armor version of that, so I will keep that and try to not sell this. But what else as far as upcoming content? Yes, tomorrow I plan to stream. Even Friday I might stream. I don't know if I actually will, but we'll see how things look tomorrow and on Friday for me to do that. And then maybe save Saturday for working on videos. I am not entirely sure. But I have just been in a streaming mood, just playing lately and not working on videos, so that is what I'm going to do a little bit more of. And I actually have made more progress questing in the wharf than I expected, but we will have to save the rest of this for later. And it looks like I forgot a quest from Jajax. That is not good. Find the beach upon which the Corsairs have landed. I wonder if that is actually down there. Is that the search for Abadek? Yeah, so we have a lot of quests down there as well in the beaches to the southwest. But anyway, again, as far as the stream goes, I hope you all enjoyed it and all the variety of content, and hopefully I do get back to playing this Warden soon, even though I will be playing my other Warden, tentatively planned for that tomorrow at least. And if you did enjoy the stream, please consider liking and subscribing for more, or consider becoming a channel member where I will supposedly be updating that in the near future. I actually keep forgetting about that. But anyway, thanks for joining.